To the big show. Oh yeah, you'd kind of like to see me there for a sec. Hello, welcome to the show, and welcome to the hippest trip on the internet. I dig y'all coming. Thanks for vibing with my tribe. We're the High Vibe Tribe here. Maybe you could subscribe to the High Vibe Tribe. You get all that I'm dropping. Yeah, all right. Well, anyway, I've got a special guest here today, which I haven't caught up with in a long time, which is Dana. And if you guys are friends of the show, Dana has come on in the last year a few times to do some psychic readings. It's usually a very popular show. People want to get their readings done, but we're going to talk for a little while, and we had some audio problems, so hopefully that's not too bad on your guys. And Dana, it is scratching when I talk. I can hear myself through your phone, but when you talk, it should be fine. So they'll just have
I
to
can
deal with
hear
that.
you okay.
Well,
And just to let you know that you spelt my name wrong, Taryn.
where on the is Jana how, Jenken, right?
No, it's Jensen. Jensen.
Jen Sen. I how did I mess that up, Jensen? Sorry.
I don't know. You
I
were
just
you were thinking of something
because
else and
it's
spelled
funny.
Jensen.
It's wrong in the title, but it's right in all the descriptions and everything.
Oh, that's strange.
So I must have just dyslexic it. Sorry about that.
I
That
think it has
happens.
something to do with the spell check. I think my system will spell things that I had no intentions on spelling in the beginning. So maybe that's what it is.
Well, it's not like my spelling's ever really been good.
Me neither.
But something like that when I see it like where I've said it right everywhere else, like in the description it's right, in the tags it's right, in my things it's right, and then I misspell it on the title. So it's fixed now. It should be right. Um,
Good, good.
but thanks for pointing that out. My brain
No
just
problem. I just saw it show up on my phone, so I thought I better tell you.
yeah, it's like the brain of the dyslexic. I think it's right, and then I realize later I'm like, why did I write it that way? It's crazy. It's been like that my whole life. It's
I'm
frustrating.
dyslexic too. It's kind of funny.
All the cool guys are. All of us cool ones.
I guess it must be.
I was
Yep,
gonna do
for
a
sure.
show about that actually. So if you ever want to come on about that, that'll be a fun show. You've got some people coming in that are saying hi to you. Vicky Online, Flymus, Reverend Hall, Bree, Fun Entertainment. So we got a couple people. Oh, Jen, I'm Puddle Duck. I've never heard of that one, but hi, thanks for coming. Paul L. I don't know how to say this one. I don't know, Adron a relic. Anyway, thanks for stopping by, Annette. Drunken Ewok. There you go. You already got a bunch of people watching you. So here's
Excellent.
me and Dana are going to catch up for a little bit. But here's the deal, guys. If you're just coming in watching, I had some people lined up that, for technical reasons, I guess just didn't work out for readings. So she is just going to take questions from you guys, unless any of you are feeling daring enough to come on air and you have a webcam and a working mic. You can come on for a quick little reading. But otherwise, she'll take questions. But for a little while, we're just going to chit chat. And I am sorry if you're hearing a little feedback on her when I talk. We can't seem to figure out how to fix that. So Dana ruins whatever electronics she's near. It's just what
Always. I
yeah.
can't help it.
It's
I
what you
don't mean
do.
to
It's
do
like
it.
your frequency just wrecks the electronics around. Every time we do an interview, something goes wrong with Dana's setup.
It's true though, isn't it? And I don't think it's me personally because I do think like I'm technically able to do things, but I
Yeah,
tell you, it doesn't matter. It happens every single time.
yeah. I mean, it's not like you're not intelligent enough to figure it out. It just doesn't want to work. It's like some
I
sort of
know.
okay. So
So, what's going on with you? Tell me what's going on with you. How exciting. We
oh,
haven't we haven't talked. I've checked in on your videos here and there, but I've been busy doing my own things. I'm situated in Paris now, so I'm ready to get back to the grind and
Paris,
yeah,
Canada, or Paris, Paris?
Paris,
Oh,
Ontario.
entire okay. It
Paris,
confuses me
Ontario.
when people say Paris. I always think France. Okay, Ontario.
Well, it kind of feels like France here, and there's quite a few Eiffel Towers around, but
Now,
they're usually all in pictures. But
for us
yeah, it's a great little town.
Americans that don't know any better, is that a French-speaking area or is that an English-speaking area?
No, totally English speaking. It's one of those little destination towns that you come to. It's got a nice little river that runs through it and great little restaurants. And actually, there's People's Jewelers has a new commercial out, and the husband and wife are trying to figure out where to go. And she throws the dart, and it ends up at Paris, Ontario. So it's kind of cool that we've hit the big screens. So, but it's a great little town. And if you're in Southern Ontario, then, it's always just a nice place to come. They've got some great restaurants here. It's just a great feel. So, and I love my new place and I love my new home. So, yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is, but some reason my channel has switched where I have more Canadians watching my show than Americans. And I guess I just vibrate better with the Canucks. I love my Canadian viewers, and I just love them. But some reason I'm picking up more and more people from Canada. So you guys got something going on there. There's a vibe that's happening up there.
Canada's a great place, other than the fact that there's a great big winter storm happening outside my window right now.
Me too. I got the same storm. I'm being
Oh,
buried.
it's crazy. Yeah, I'm so happy and grateful that we get to sit in the warmth of our and comfort of our own little home and do this. I mean, technology is great when it works, but I'm so happy and grateful that sometimes I just don't have to get up in the morning and go out in this treacherous stuff. So I admire the people who do.
Yeah, it's fun, and because like I had to get up this morning and dig the cars out and all that stuff, and I love winter, but it's here. I'm digging cars, it's here. So that part, but the flip side is, I really like snow and cold weather. I lived in Savannah forever, and it was just brutally hot even in the winter, and I always toy with the idea that I want to leave the country and maybe go to Mexico or something, but I don't know if I could survive the heat. I'd have to
I
like
don't think I see you doing that.
leave the
If you want
country.
my psychic opinion on that, I don't think that that's something that you're going to be doing. So,
Well, that's the offer is, I love I'm just trying to figure it out because there's always these things I want to do, and I've always maybe me and you could talk a little since our guest did not happen, so we'll have to figure that out. But like, if I were to relocate, all my friends are down in Mexico living it up like rock stars for little money, and I'm like, well, Mexico looks pretty good, but I'd have to go somewhere like in the mountains and cold because I can't do this heat. I'm not a beach guy. And
see, I start complaining when it's about 40. That's when I start complaining. So I'm always running cold.
yeah. So for you guys just tuning in, we've got looks like we just added a bunch of new listeners watching live. This is my old friend Dana. We go way back. She used to come on do readings, but it's been like 6 months, and probably the most requested guest that people are always like, "When's Dana coming back?" I offered people to come on to do a live reading, but for one reason or another, it just didn't work out. So we are just going to take questions from the audience, unless you're feeling brave enough to come on air, hook your webcam up, and you can come on for a live reading. You just have to mention it in the comments going by that you want to come on, and we'll do that. So Dana,
and you're more than
you're
more than welcome to ask questions too, and Taryn can relay them to me, and I can just give you my insight of what I see, even if it's brief and quick question. Just go ahead and do that too. I invite you all to do that.
Yeah, and we'll feed those questions in as we chit chat here and catch up. The other thing I wanted to talk about was, Dana, you've had a lot of transition. I know I've gone through a lot of transition. For people that have wondered where you've been for 6 months, catch us up. What happened? Because you relocated to a new place. I assume you moved your practice and your I don't know. Catch me up. Me and you haven't talked forever.
Well, it's what's really great about my business is that I can kind of go anywhere. As long as I have a good internet connection, I can really do readings no matter where I am. So a lot of times I'll take off for the weekend and I'll end up doing readings in hotel rooms and so on and so forth. So that's great. I can always do readings on Skype, but when I was living with my two boys, and it was a little crowded in my little apartment. And one morning I woke up and I said, you know what? It's either they have to leave or I have to leave. But some of us are leaving, and that's just what ended up happening. I said to my boys that it's time that you grow up and be big boys now, and So I left them in the apartment, and they're doing very well. They're taking care of themselves, and then I moved to Paris, where I've been since July, and it's just been awesome. Like, I've just loved my new place. I just rented a little place in Paris here, where there's not a lot of places to rent. Most people own here, but I'm not a big house owner. So I just found this great little apartment just down by the river, and it's cozy, warm, and perfect. It's perfect. It's eclectic, and it's just for me. I think it was built for me, to be honest.
Well, so this is the first time you've lived by yourself in a really long time. How do you like that transition from going with, you've had kids in the house to finally, like, I don't know, having your own life kind of thing? What's that like?
It was kind of uncomfortable in the beginning, actually. It was an adjustment. I live with my cat. So yeah, it wasn't the easiest adjustment. I was very, very worried about, leaving the boys behind, because I mean, they were young men, and I kind of threw them into it. I sort of forced them to be big boys, and so I mean, I sat here worried about that, but it was just something I had to do. There was a lot of resistance. I felt a lot of resistance with it. I was scared for them. I was scared for myself, and not only that, sometimes when you're just on your own, and you've lived a life where things are maybe not as good as they could have been, or you had lots to complain about, when you actually get on your own, now all of a sudden it's just you. Now you've got nothing to complain about other than yourself. So now you're faced with yourself.
Oh,
and
man.
That's a hard adjustment a lot of the time. So I think that was the major adjustment, but I'm settling in now, and I have people come to my home. If you live in Southern Ontario, you can actually come into my house, and we got a nice little warm fireplace, and I always got coffee on and tea on, and it's just such a nice place to sit, and it's easy. And then you come for lunch. A lot of people will come down to Paris and make a day of it and have lunch and go down to the market. They got a really cool little market down at the end of the street. So it's just I don't know. It couldn't have happened more perfectly. Everything just synced right up to whatever it is that I was trying to create. And believe me, I resisted it. I resisted it big time, because I was just so fearful of the things that I needed to do. And but it has all basically worked itself out. So I'm really grateful, and business is good. I've been busy with readings all summer and trying to get adjusted with that as well. So yeah, that's what my whole sort of last 6 months, but I'm ready to get back to it, ready to get back to doing live videos and stuff like that. So it's good. Yeah. What have you been doing? I watched your trip.
Oh, man.
Your little trip while you were out and about and traveling the countryside.
It's funny because you said something that really hit a chord, was like, it's kind of like human nature to blame problems on other people, where you're like, man, I really want to do X, Y, and Z, but I can't because I have kids, or I want to do this, but I'm married, or this and that. So finally, like, I was single for, quite a long time. That Kate breaks up with me, and I go on this like road trip for about 5 months. And the thing about it was that look in the face. What you're talking about was, there was no excuses. It's like, okay, you said these were excuses hold you back, and then now it's like this man in the mirror you're looking at going, okay, it's time to do it. Let's go. Let's dance. And then you realize, okay, well, maybe these problems were me. I gotta deal with this. And so I've been working hard on that. As far as what I was doing, I had a big upheaval in my life. That Kate broke up. We went through this major things for like 5 months. I went on the road, and we tried to talk it through and dance it out. And basically it came down to, I ran out of places to live and money. And me and Kate kind of worked out this weird quasi sort of roommate situation here for the winter, because
Good.
Our money is, we both can live comfortably in this place, but it's hard for either one of us to do it alone. So it's been weird, but it's also been, I'm now locked into the mode of growth this winter, where I'm just kicking my channel into full gear. I'm putting out a story about every day, and I'm finally done traveling. I needed a little stability. Like, it's very romantic to be, oh, I'm going to float around the country and visit all these people. But after sleeping on couches and floors for like 4 or 5 months, you just, it's like, man, I want my own bed, my own things, in my own place. And I really wanted to come back and just chill at my own.
I always think that I want to travel and I want to see the world, but really, truly, honestly, I'm a homebody. And especially in the winter, if I don't have to go anywhere in the winter, I am so ecstatic just sitting here and look out the window, and that's my travel. I guess maybe if I think about it, I meditate and I travel. So anytime I'm doing meditation or anytime I'm doing any kind of transcendental thing, I'm always traveling. I'm seeing worlds that I could never see if I was, getting on a plane. So I don't know. I find it more romantic to do the astral travel. It seems like a better fit with me.
Yeah, I mean, as much as traveling sucks now, I get it. But I also.
I don't even have a passport.
Oh, really? I still have
No.
one, but I haven't flown in. The only time I've flown was once when I went to Burma because I just couldn't. I couldn't take like a boat to Burma, but that was the last time I flew. That was years ago, and then before that, it's been years because I was just so offended by the TSA and what you go through. Like you're treated like a criminal, and it was just very offensive to me. So I just drive everywhere now. I can't handle.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't handle flying.
Yep.
Anyway,
Absolutely.
I've got some questions coming in. There's lots of chit chat, and I'm sorry if I've been ignoring you guys.
Don't ignore them.
There's some people in
That's
here
why
saying,
we're doing it.
"Oh, she's so sweet." Bree says she's so sweet, but Bree Claw had a question about.
Go ahead.
Her name is Bree Claw 11, and says, Dana, I am studying Vedic astrology. Will I be successful with my readings at some point?
You will, absolutely. It looks like you do a lot of freebies and you do a lot of family, and just, I guess you kind of got to put in your dues, obviously, but it does look like it will be later. It doesn't look, you seem to be too busy right now. Things are, you can't even dedicate a lot of time to the study of it, but it expands into something else, just to let you know as well. It gets bigger than that even. So the astrology gets into something else, but I don't know what that would be. There's like another component to it. So it looks like it's a lot of learning and many years, it seems, and then you're doing a whole bunch of little ones or doing a bunch of ones for people who know that you do it, and then you eventually get into it a little later on. I would say it's probably a good 5 or 6 years out before you actually decide that you want to charge for it and you feel comfortable doing that. It must just be a lot to learn, that's all. I don't know, I don't study astrology, but I'm assuming it's quite in depth and a lot of memory work, so kudos to you, congratulations. I don't think I could ever
Dana,
really do anything like that.
for us that don't know, what is Vedic astrology? I don't really even know what that means. It's Ayurvedic? Is that what it means? Like, what is that?
You know what? I don't exactly. Maybe you can actually have her clarify that. But there is another component to it. I'm not sure. Maybe she can explain it.
Okay.
I have heard of it before, and I do know the name, but I can't recall what it means right at the time.
Oh, it's Indian astrology, she says. So, yeah, like, I guess assume like Ayurvedic, Vedic. Okay, I'm with you.
But then there's going to be something else that's involved in that. Does she understand what that is? There's something else. There's another component to it.
Like Indian
something
zodiacs.
To do with healing.
Oh, healing. Okay.
Something to do with healing.
Very cool.
Does she understand what that means?
She says it's very accurate and you need to know the time of birth. She is going to be a few seconds behind before she replies. So it's going to take a sec because they're on like a 10-second delay.
No problem. So I feel like it's going to be very successful, but there's a lot of learning to that. And then she might be studying with another woman as well. I can see another woman as being part of this that she'll be studying with too.
Got it.
And maybe they can combine in some way.
All right, what about Katmere Stone says, Dana, amongst the higher amongst the higher vibrating people in my life right now, one new woman stands out in my journey. I'm unsure if even my hesitation on this path. What are your impressions? Thank you.
And who is this, Kat?
Katmere Stone. His name's Katmere.
Katmere.
Yeah, I don't. If you need to see a picture of him, I can flash you a screen picture if you want.
Not necessary, but go
Okay.
ahead if you'd like. Maybe
No,
that can give a face to the name for everybody who's watching as well.
It's going to be too hard to see on your phone. It's just like in chat. I don't have
okay.
like a full screen shot of him. And again, if you guys are coming in late, we had some people cancel that were actually going to come on air. So if you want to come on air, all you have to do is have a working webcam and a set of headphones, and you can come on and chat with Dana live. You just got to let me know in the chat. Okay, go ahead and answer Katmere.
Okay, so Katmere, I actually feel like there's gonna be conflict. Actually, is what it feels like to me, because it almost seems like there's two separate things. So either there is some sort of romantic inclination in some way, or there is something conflicting. There's something in the middle of you two, but I also feel like there's projects moving forward, even like possibilities in business or making money or joining forces in some way. But there seems to be a lot of emotion involved, but yet things are not clear enough, or things are not clean enough to be able to do that moving forward. So be very aware and be very careful on what this relationship turns into or how it turns into. Don't rush it. Don't force it. Don't just let it play itself out. And there's great possibilities if you can be patient. But if you're not going to be patient with it, you want to force it, or you want to get to the nitty gritty, I think it could cause some major problems. So just be aware of that. That's all I can say with that. But there is something about starting of entrepreneurship business or something that's going to be happening for you as well. So just be aware of that.
All right.
There'll be another person involved in that too.
Very cool.
So 3.
You guys try to remember that Dana can't actually see the chat. So if you have a question, tag me so I see it, and I'll feed it into her.
Sounds good.
Okay, there's a question from F8L Frogman. Yeah, Frogman, all right. Been across the globe with my military career and have told many I have a dark aura. What actually does it mean? So I guess he's been told by many people he has a dark aura, and when he's doing his military trips. Is he being followed? Is it true? What does it mean?
Okay, so I do believe that at some point in time we can carry a darker aura around us. Sometimes I mean, there is a difference between a black aura and there's a difference between like a dark or a gray aura. Being in the military, I would assume that we are not always around the greatest vibration or frequency. And if you have conflict in your military career or even in your own emotion, and you have a conflict of even what the military stands for or what you're fighting for, if you are struggling with the emotions of why you're here in this career and all of those things, and especially if you're going into different places, usually when the military is involved or going places, it's not really for great things, whether you're peacekeeping or whether you're actually at war. It's not always a great environment to be in. And I would say that being around that frequency could absolutely give you that darker aura. So your job at this point is to purify yourself. When you see your aura, like before I started the readings today, what I did was I expanded my aura. And if you guys actually look, that's why I'm sitting on the white wall. If you guys can actually look at my surroundings around my head and around my shoulders on the white wall, you should be able to see almost like a cloudy mist of different colors and maybe even gray, and you can actually see them when they're like bouncing out. You'll see this ooh,
Yeah, your aura's changing.
Yeah, exactly. And you're able to change the color of your aura. So if you think about it in that way, I want my aura to be white and colorful and bright and all of those things that come with having that shining aura. And if you're walking around with a gray aura, it's because maybe maybe it's time to think about some direction change, or maybe it's time to start getting clear on why you're doing what you're doing. And don't forget, you can breathe white into your aura. You can breathe a beautiful different color into your energy just by creating it, just by seeing it. Just everybody's in a bubble. You can create whatever color you want, and be at peace with that. I kind of get the feeling that it's sort of beside you now, where, if you were to get your aura checked now, it might be a different color now. But I would assume, while you were in the army and traveling around, I can totally understand why you would be stressed out and maybe have a darker aura. So I hope that helps a little bit.
Yeah, and if
we'll
you guys
see what happens.
are looking, I'm curious what you think Dana's aura is, because when I was talking with her earlier, it was one color and it is now shifted to another color. I'm not going to spoil it. Let's see what you guys say in the comments.
That's an awesome thing to do. That's an awesome
practice.
Thing to
And
do.
if you don't,
See what color it was.
if you don't know how to see an aura, Dana, why don't you give them a little advice on how to see it, because this is your show. Go ahead and tell them how to see it.
Okay. So the best way to actually start looking at auras and energy is to use a plant. So you always want to have it on a white background and get a nice healthy plant. Look at the edges of the plant and just let your eye relax. I want you to just look through the plant and just keep the edges of the plant in vision, and just watch it. And one thing you'll notice is when your eyes are relaxed and a little bit unfocused, what you'll see is you'll see a movement of light. And sometimes people think it's their eyes playing with them, but it's actually the energy that you're seeing. So when you're actually looking at me on camera, you probably want to look at the center of my forehead. And then if you can just stare there, what will happen is the rest of the aura will kind of come into vision. And then you'll be able to see the colors, and you'll be able to see a whole bunch of things. And as I read, you'll actually see my aura get bigger and change colors. And the best place to see an aura is to see it around the head. Around the head and the shoulders is the best place to be able to see it. And it'll move with me. Do you see it? You see it when it's moving, and you can see how I'm leaving an imprint behind.
Oh, yeah.
Can you see that, Taryn?
Oh, yeah, I can see yours easy. Because you're up against the white.
So,
you're up against the white. It's a lot easier.
And that's why I sit here. I think it's so amazing to be able to see the energy. So that's why I sit on the white wall.
I have too much color behind me to really see it, I don't think. But yours is easy to see. So yeah, people are talking about that. They say different colors here. Okay. I think I had a question back here I missed from Melissa. Melissa Stevens says, oh man, I lost your question. Darn it, Melissa, where did it go? Something about she's having some family, something going on in her family crisis or drama that she wants to know how much longer it'll go. I can't find the exact question though, but that's what she wants to know.
Okay, just give me one sec here. Melissa Stevens?
Stevens.
Oh, so I probably don't have the best of news when it comes to timing. It feels like it almost feels like it's going to continue for a while longer, and it also creates separation as well. People not talking, not the best scenario. And I also feel like I would like to say that I'm seeing a man who isn't feeling very well, older man, I would say in his, I don't know, 55, 60 and around there, who has some medical conditions and needs some procedures, and family is arguing, and I feel like there's some legal issues that are going to be involved as well. So I would say, hold on tight. Melissa, I feel like it's, try and be that grounding force for your family. There's too much emotion involved. We need some grounding sense here, and we need a mediator in some way. I guess just whenever we're in a room and we're talking about the situation that's going on, just surround everybody's aura in pink. If you can do that, just picture everybody in a pink bubble. That's probably the best way to kind of keep everybody grounded. And I don't know. It's not as clear as I would like it to be, but it's not over. And I think it's going to amp up before it actually calms down. So you still got a bit to go. Sorry to say that to you. I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news, but maybe it's about preparation more than anything. So just be aware of that. There is an older lady that's coming through, Melissa, that has been on the other side quite a few years, actually, probably close to 20, 25 years. She seems to want to oversee what's going on in the family as well, but she's quite present. She, I don't know, had a stroke probably, something wrong with her brain, maybe dementia or something, but this lady is coming around the family and wants to see everybody happy, healthy, and whole.
Well, that's good, because Melissa's saying that, yes, it's bad. Her family situation's bad. She's about 10 seconds behind, so she hasn't said anything about the family member watching over. And do you find that common, that a lot of times that the family members always come in to watch over?
They do, because
seems common.
They do. Yeah, it is common, and they need to be, I mean, it's almost like we're here anyway. So let's just say, you know, if you're a grandmother or a mother, you're always watching over your kids, even if you're not present, or even if you're not in their house. They're always consciously in your energy. So you're, in a way, you're sort of overlooking them anyway. So that it is quite common to have them coming through, because we're still connected and we think about them, and they're part of our bloodline, and we need all the help we can get. So that's why they come around us.
All right. Okay, some of the people were saying they came out with a couple different colors for your aura, but some people were talking about that they see like a yellow or something in your neck, and they're worried that do you have some sort of lymph nodes, or you're not feeling good? A couple of people are wondering.
They would be accurate.
Yeah, they're picking up that you were just coming off being sick or something.
Healing. Send me some
There you
healing.
go. So good catch, you guys. Make sure you tag me, guys, if you're commenting, because there's a lot of comments going by and I'm not getting every question. I'm missing a few. If I don't answer your question, it's not on purpose. I just didn't see it. So just put it out there again and tag my name on it. Let's see. I'm going to see if I can ask some other questions here. Kim Emmy Vibe. Hello, Dana and Doc. A new child is coming into the family in February. Any impressions? You got any vibe on a new child coming in February?
I get feminine feel. I get very, very happy, and it's about time. Very creative and lovely. Quiet. Quiet and observant, watching what's going on. And there'll be a man in the family who has passed on that will be joining this little one's trip down the canal. It feels like this man is really as proud as punches. And I keep, I don't know, seeing a firefighter? Something to do with a firefighter? So maybe this little one will end up becoming a firefighter, but we'll never have validation for that, not 20 years down the road. But keep that in mind, write that down and leave it in a little envelope. So that would make sense to me, but a firefighter. Feels good, feels like everything is okay. Doesn't seem like there's any problems moving forward. Who's ever having the baby is moving though. So that's going to be a little bit of an upheaval, but it all looks good. All feels good. And there's another one coming again very shortly after that. So just be prepared for that too.
Oh, the double down. You're getting the double down.
Double down.
Well, that's good. And what a blessing to have a quiet, observant child. That's like the holy grail of children.
I don't think the second one will be as quiet or as observant.
No, I definitely don't.
No, you gotta have.
You can't get lucky twice. No.
No.
All right.
No, you can't.
Let's see. We've got a question from Jem. I'm a puddle duck. That's Jem. Jem, I'm a puddle duck. Please ask her about little Braun. Bron.
Little,
Braun.
little Braun. Little Braun. I don't. All I'm hearing is a dog barking. So even when you say the question, all I can hear is a dog barking. So I don't know what to do with that.
Well, all right, if you're listening, give her a little more information, I guess. I'm not sure
Yeah,
on that one
and
either.
tell me why the dog is barking.
And what that has to do with the dog, we will get in here. Zahil, Zail. I never say his name right. Sorry about that, Zail. I appreciate you actually phonetically putting it out there. Zail. I am sensing a life change event coming. Can Dana help shed some light on it?
As soon as you said his name, I saw him getting on a plane. So he's about to travel. He's about to go actually pretty far. This seems amazing, and that's all I'm really getting is that he's about to get on a plane. He's happy. It seems like I'm looking at him helping people though. He's going from place to place to place, and he's helping people as he goes. And this seems like this is the best thing that he could do for himself at this time. Almost feels like he's been wanting to do this for a while.
Be ready for travel.
No.
All right.
It's all getting on a plane. We have to go. It's a transition. And around an older lady, I can see an older lady smiling at him. Shorter than him. He's smiling at her. He's very happy to see her. So either he has to go and visit somebody or he has to go and connect with people, but I can see him smiling at an older lady. And I don't feel like she speaks English. But she's got a great vibe to her. Does he understand that?
Let's find out. Zail, let us respond if that makes any sense to you. Please drop something there in the comments, and we'll come back. As far as Gem, Miss Puddle Duck, she says that it's not a fair question when others need to hear things. So I'm trying to get her to expand on that. So we'll come back to Gem here. Okay, Council.
I don't know what the. Oh, sorry.
Oh, here she comes. She says, "No, I rescued Braun at 5 weeks old from a woodpile. He's learned to lap in my palm. I think she means lay in my palm. He was such a little happy tabby and then disappeared 3 weeks ago. I live in the deep country." Oh, she's talking about her cat.
It's a cat. Well, why do I hear the dog barking?
Well, her cat's been missing for 3 weeks. Did it have something to do with the dog?
Oh. Does she have a black dog in her neighborhood? A bigger black dog?
I'll throw it out there.
Yeah, bigger black dog in the neighborhood. That's what it feels like. But there's something going on with that, Braun. I kept hearing a dog barking.
Is the cat still alive?
I don't know. I can't get off the dog. There's something with the dog. I can't get off the dog.
She doesn't have dogs here, only sheep dogs. So we'll have to come back. A sheepdog. So
a sheepdog. Is the sheepdog black?
I don't know.
So all I can say is that I don't know. I don't feel like it. I don't get a real sparkling vibe out of this. So it doesn't. It feels a little sad to me, and the dog felt a little sad to me too. But I keep seeing a black dog. Now, whether that means, if your cat is no longer with you, then you probably have the way of attracting animals to you, and animals will find you. So don't be surprised if there's a black dog coming your way, and keep your eyes open for that. I'm not sure I can give you information on the cat. It doesn't feel like I can connect, obviously, to the cat.
Well, Sorry,
So
Puddle.
we'll leave that.
Yeah. Sorry, Puddle Duck. I wish we had a better straight answer for you.
Sorry.
Well, hey, you figured out it was a pet, which was pretty good. I thought little Bron was like a little kid. I didn't know.
No, I thought it
He
was
was a
too,
dog.
but it just,
or a cat.
well, I keep seeing a dog, so
Yeah.
there's got to have something to do with the dog.
Okay. Zail came back and he said, makes sense. So what you said to him made sense. Appreciate that. All right. If you guys have questions for Dana, I cannot see that it's a question unless you tag my name in it. Dana cannot see the chat. She does not see it. So if you want to ask her something, or if I missed your question, sometimes I just miss it. So just ask it again. And I'm not trying to ignore you on purpose. Okay.
Karen, you have a short little lady around you too, just to let you know. She's been coming in and out during this little live session that we're having.
Well, tell her hey.
She's a little lady, and something to do with your mom. You need to call your mom. So have a chat with your mom, and it has something to do with her.
It was funny because I was just talking with Longhair here about that my grandmother, I don't know very well, is Canadian. And when I was telling her, I was like, hey, but I never knew her. She died before I was born, I think. So
and this is your mom's mom?
Yeah, my mom's mom on that side is Canadian. So I'm wondering if, since I was talking about her today, if she showed up.
Oh, well, that would make sense because I do feel like she's around you, and I feel like your mom has some good news as well. So I would be giving her a call and seeing what's coming up. I think there's some.
Okay.
You're gonna be happy for your mom.
Yeah, me and my mom finally have made some progress in our life. Like we've always had a pretty crappy relationship, and over the last year, since all this went down, I was kind of forced to be with her, and we worked a lot of stuff out. And so me and my mom are like better than we've ever been. It's been great. But it took,
awesome.
I was kind of convinced that she would pass away with a crappy relationship, that I just wouldn't be able to fix it. And because of what went down when I had to travel for 5 months, she put me up for a while, and we worked through a lot of stuff. It was so. Like calling my mom, I'll check it out and find out what's going on because that's great.
Yep, give her a call, see what's going on. She's got some good news for you, and she's excited about something. And your grandmother is definitely part of this as well. So, and she wants to say hi.
Well, tell her
and somebody
hi.
Named Flo.
Mo.
And somebody named Flo.
Are you saying Mo or Flo?
Flo. F-L-O. Flo.
I have to think about it. I don't know any.
I think your mom will shed some information on that.
Flo. Okay. Well, that's very nice. Tell her thank you and stick around. What's up? Wherever you are.
Stick around. Have you had any other hauntings in your house? Anything else going on around your house? Not
like when it was really like when the Mandela effect was full effect, man. It was crazy in here. There were like things moving in and out, but it has come way the heck down over the last few months. If there was something going on with crossings of realities or whatever, it seems to have slowed down or come to a stop around here. I do see a lot of blurs, blurry images that shoot across. So there is something coming in and out of the house, but I don't feel like it's threatening at all. I feel like it's something to do with a nature spirit. Like if it honestly looks like a cat that darts in and out of the house. Like maybe there's like a cat spirit or a ghost here or something. I don't know.
So I think a lot of people are actually seeing anomalies in the atmosphere. So a lot of times it'll just look like there's a distortion in the atmosphere, and we can see it, and it almost looks like there's a hole in the atmosphere. So a lot of people are seeing this, but a lot of times I do believe that is dimensional. I believe that we're actually that's the window into the next dimension, and whoever is in that dimension is able to look in our dimension as well. So
it
there's
feels
a lot of that going on.
It feels very shadow people, like like you're looking at yourself or somebody and I honestly feel like it's like either a pet spirit or a pet in another dimension. It's this. It looks like if you guys ever watched Predator when he goes invisible and he's like moving around. That's what it looks like in my house. It's a distortion.
That's what it looks like everywhere.
Like a dark distortion that comes through all the time. It is slowed down a good bit, but it's still there. At night, it comes out a lot. But it's not like a dark, creepy, haunted feeling at all. It feels it feels very matter of fact, like a pet coming and going.
And do you find that the Mandela effect has calmed down a little bit?
Oh
Like I
yeah,
had to pull away from that
it
as
was
well. It was
nuts.
just so much.
Yeah, because what happened is, my channel blew up, and we talked about it, and we talked about it, and we talked about it, and that's all we talked about on this channel for 8 months. And I feel like we had every guest and every opinion on I could think of 3 to 4 times in a row, and it was like, okay, we've talked this to death. There's no new information I can find out there that we haven't talked about, and people will still be like, well, when are you going to do another Mandela show? And I'm like, why? We've covered this to death. What can we possibly talk about?
And
But
have we ever
it
even really
slowed
figured out what it really is?
it slowed down. I mean, I've got my theories, but to explain that, I would have to get pretty deep on you to. But I definitely have some pretty good insights, I think, of what's going on. But I no, nobody really knows. I just have a good feeling. I know a big piece of it. It's just one of those things that after hearing so much about it, you kind of get your own thing. I'm ignoring a lot of questions here, so let me get back to the audience, and we will we will jump back to my own personal drama later.
All right, sounds great.
All right, so let's see what questions we had. If you guys, I missed a bunch of them, please repeat them. I'm just going to grab the first one I see. Taryn, a drunken Ewok says, we've been having trouble letting go of everything and just allowing the next steps to unfold. Too much stress. Let's see. I don't know if that's a question. I think she's just saying that. Sorry about that. Thank you, though, for that, Drunken Ewok.
No problem.
All right. Cat A just came in. She says, I often feel like I belong somewhere else and than where I am. What do you sense? Her name is Cat with a K. Cat A.
Well, a lot of times when we think we're supposed to be somewhere else, I think sometimes it has something to do with past life residual that we're dealing with. So looking into the past life, and maybe at this time in your life, in a past life, you were somewhere else. And sometimes it was the greatest time of our lives, and sometimes it was the worst time of our lives. But a lot of times our cells will actually reproduce that in a way. So I think that, you're exactly where you're supposed to be when you're there. You're not supposed to be anywhere else than where you are. So when you're feeling like you're supposed to be somewhere else, I do think it has a lot to do with residuals.
Thank you.
Oh,
And well, you can ask her more if you need to there. I found the rest of Drunken Ewok's question, and I'm sorry about this. Drunken Ewok says, we've been having trouble letting go of everything. Oh wait. Darn it. Did I just read the same question again? Here it is. I got to find your question. There's so many things coming in here. Okay, question for Dana. I'm bringing a baby into the world in 2 weeks, and life is crazy. My boyfriend is facing a lot of uncertainty with his job. I'm facing a lot of pressure with mine, and ultimately not so happy with it. And I've been dealing with a lot of family drama. We've been having trouble letting go of everything and just allowing the next steps to unfold. Too much stress. Are we going to sort this out anytime soon? I feel like this baby will provide a much needed reset on my life. Any insight you have towards my path may be changing?
More than anything, I actually get your husband's path changing. So I think your husband's job is going to change, and it's necessary in a lot of ways. And I'm hearing like motors. I'm hearing big trucks and motors and the grinding that you get. So there's going to be something that he's doing. It's a much better position. I also see him testing for something. So even though it's going to feel like, oh my God, what's going to happen? It's actually for the better. So have a little bit of trust and faith in that. As far as the family drama goes, and even your career and your job seems to be okay. I think you consciously decide to find another job. So you're going to put forth the effort probably while you're on maternity leave and getting to know your new baby. I keep hearing piano too. Somebody's playing the piano. I don't know. Maybe you need to listen to piano to get the right thoughts, or I don't know. But I keep hearing a piano playing.
She says, she says no clues on the motors, but he is in fact getting ready to test for something. So I guess he's testing
Oh,
for
okay.
a new kind of job.
Okay, well, I keep hearing motors and engines, so something to do with that in some way. The testing is a good thing. It gives them something to move forward in, so that's awesome. But as far as the drama goes with family, relinquish. All you have to do is relinquish. It'll be what it'll be. And you, just by stressing about it, can't change anything. You worrying about it can't change anything. If you need to be present, be present. But as far as everything else goes, relinquish. What will be is what will be. Enjoy your new baby. You don't want all the other stress of what's going on around you, and you don't want to have to be so, wrapped up in that when, this transition is happening. So I don't know, enjoy that. I can also see a dog around you. Enjoy the dog and go for walks, and it all feels like it works out okay. And even when it comes to your husband's job, I think he's going to be really, really happy in his new position.
Excellent. All right, let's see some other stuff here. There was a question. Okay, Jess Trick. Jessica Trick, it is her birthday today, by the way. Happy
birthday.
Happy birthday, Dana, right here. Right here, Jessica. Happy birthday. All right, I have been trying to have a baby for over 8 months, and I have not had the experience of being pregnant. I wonder if maybe one day I'll get pregnant and have a family with my husband. So she's trying to have a baby, hasn't had any success. What's the skinny on that?
Just give me one sec. Jessica, unfortunately, I see a few problems going on there. You're going to have to inquire about getting a little bit of help. It almost feels to me like you will absolutely be a parent. I'm not exactly sure if the baby comes through you. It feels like there's some blocks that are happening there. Anybody trying to get pregnant, a really good thing to do is surround your bedroom, where you do the deed. Where you do the deed. Surround it in as much orange as you can. So think orange, be orange, have orange curtains, orange lights, orange comforters. Make it as orange as you can and see what happens there. But I feel like you're gonna actually see a doctor that helps you out. He's got dark hair. He's got a lot of hair, it looks like, which is surprising for a doctor. Hey, could it be you, doctor? No, it's not.
Well, actually, I was about to add something because I had a large success with patients helping them get pregnant, and so I've got some advice for you. But
then maybe it's you that helps them, but then you're getting your hair cut.
No.
Are you thinking about getting your hair cut?
It's probably an old video. I did an old video on infertility where I had short hair, so maybe that's it.
Oh, okay. Well, this is going to help you with this, but unless you live really close to Taryn, then that's one thing. But I actually see you sitting there and talking to this doctor face to face. So, I'm not exactly 100% clear on who or what the problem is, but it does feel like you need some medical assistance. It doesn't feel like it's going to happen naturally exactly. So, but you are going to be a parent, and I think I'm seeing actually 2 kids. So, that's something to look forward to, and that's positive. So keep your chin up.
Well, thank you for that, and let me add my 2 cents on this. I saw many women. It was kind of accidental because when I was doing chiropractic, I had some women coming to me with infertility problems and asking if I could help. And the first thing I would do is check the nerve flow to the uterus, and sometimes the nerves to the uterus were blocked. So their back was so.
Feels like it's a block.
Yeah, their back was so screwed up. The nerves. They couldn't hold a baby. They could get pregnant, but they would always miscarry, and it was because the nerve flow was pinched. It just wasn't working well. So I checked that, and that would be like that's kind of like the easiest place to start. If that didn't solve the problem, it was almost always PCOS, that you don't realize you have polycystic ovary syndrome. It's very common if you eat kind of like a standard American diet. that you would have polycystic ovaries, especially if you eat a lot of meat and oil, cheese, things like that. That can get a lot better if you change your diet and cut that stuff down. I have a whole video on it on YouTube on polycystic ovary syndrome. If you can get that in order and make sure the nerves are working, it'll really help your chances. It was crazy. These women would come to me, Dana, that had spent $10,000 at an infertility clinic, and a couple adjustments, changing their diet, under $200-300, and they were pregnant. It just blew me away. They would go through all this other stuff, these specialists, and never even try alternatives. It was nuts.
Well, and even as simple as surrounding yourself in that orange color actually helps the reproduction of your brain. Orange is a good color to help your reproduction system get in order as well. So
Orange.
It's good. Maybe that's exactly why you needed to come here.
Think orange. Okay, we got a question from hold on, let's see. Rosie. I'm going to my daughter's in Kansas and thinking of staying. Do you see me coming back? Rosie.
You come back.
So she's not going to stay out there.
She comes back.
Okay.
Yeah. She doesn't stay out there.
Okay. I'm sorry if I missed questions here. I'm just going to grab the first ones I start seeing. If I do not answer your question, please repeat them because they're flying by and I don't get them all. Wake up news. What's around the corner for me? Wake up news. That's a little nebulous. Wake up. Come on. What's around the corner for me?
Wake up. What's her first name? Well, I guess
I don't know.
That's okay.
Wake up. I don't even know if it's a woman. It's just wake up news. They comment on it here. I like them. I just don't know who they are.
Tell her to get a little more narrowed.
Yeah, narrow. Ask a little, more narrow question, and we'll answer that. Jess,
a little more narrow.
Jess Trick just came back, and she said we're talking about having my sister carrying a baby for us. So I don't know if that's how she ends up having a child or not. But
who was that? The one
that was having problems getting pregnant. She says she's thinking about having her sister carry. But you think maybe she'll do it herself. She just has to find the right doctor to help her.
Well, I actually, at the beginning of that reading, I said I don't see the baby coming through her. I did say that at the beginning of the reading. So,
maybe
but
that's why. All
I can say is that I see her being a parent. I see them being parents of 2, actually. So, it's something to, I don't know if that's such a bad idea. But it's fun to practice, too.
Okay. All right. Pilgrim71 says, talking to other empaths, even in texting, I get called an energy vampire. What do you sense? Well,
what's the name?
If you had more than one person tell you that. Pilgrim71.
Pilgrim71. Okay. So an energy vampire. So a lot of times that can be either, the connotation of being an energy vampire is sort of a negative. But a lot of times when you get around high energetic people or high frequency people, quite often, you can be drained just by being in the frequency of somebody who is a higher spiritual being. It can be a little bit trying being around somebody who's got a lot of energy, and maybe, when you're around them, even though it's not a bad experience, it's like, oh, poof, that took a lot of energy being around that person. And I'm sure we can all agree that we've had that experience with people. I wouldn't say you're a negative vibration. I would just say that you're a higher vibration, and don't worry so much about being right. There's something that I don't know, there's something about right, or you needing to be right, or you're really wanting and care so much about other people that your advice is sound, but sometimes maybe it could come across as that you're trying to force them into doing something, and maybe that's what's causing that backlash. But other than that, give your information. When an empath gets a message, it is to share, and you should be sharing it. But once you actually release it, let it go, and don't worry about what they do with the information. Just let it be. It's up to them to do whatever they need, but just release it and let it go. So don't worry too much about, sucking people of their energy. I don't know. I think that's a sad thing to say to somebody, that you're an energy vampire. That's not a real good connotation.
No, but they definitely exist.
But I think you're there for. But I don't feel like she's
But he's not.
I think she's there being positive, and she's getting that sort of title or that sort of label on her, and I don't think that's her intention. So
I think Pilgrim's a guy. I think.
Oh.
I'm not positive.
Well, then he's a feminine guy.
Yeah, I think he's a guy.
Well, then he's got to be a feminine guy, and touched with his sensitivity. Then
you're getting female energy. Okay. Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, hell, man, I get told I have female energy all the time. I actually, I project. It's really weird. Like, I'm like the anti-man. I don't care about sports or cars or whatever. I get and I cry like an empath. So I think I'm full of too much estrogen. All right.
Good.
I do have a question that was via email. This was someone that was supposed to come on the show, but technical problems couldn't do it. Lauren from Wiltus, CA wants to know how soon you see me selling my property and moving, and where will it be? So she wants to sell her property that she is in, and she wants to move. And do you have any idea where she'll move?
She looks like she's going south from where she is. Not real close, though.
Well, she's a little more direct. She says, does she see me relocating to, I don't know how to say this, OJ Santa Barbara?
Wherever it is going south, and
Santa Barbara.
That's all I can see.
South.
She's going down from where she is, and this seems like a really, really good move that has been put off far too long. I think she might even be moving before she sells her house for some reason. So something either gets her there first, and then she has to kind of bounce back and forth to sell her house. I think she will find some. I see a little lady with blonde hair who's helping her sell her house. And that doesn't happen until like weather's nice and warm and June, maybe. So it's still going to be a little bit before that happens for some reason. And maybe that's why she has to go first and come back. But I think there's something to do with job at some point too. So either she has to start her job early, and that's why she has to go sooner than she sells her house.
Let me throw you. She has one third part of this. Does she see me? Let me read it. Does she see me doing healing work, specifically energy healing, reconnective healing, like your friend Chase? And will I be effective at it? So I don't know. Maybe she's trying to make a change or something. She wants to know if she gets into healing work.
Funny thing is I see her in the corporate field. So when I'm seeing this, either she's doing some sort of energy work with companies, or some sort of I don't know. It's something to do with companies. It seems to be more corporate and healing work. Maybe it's dealing with the stresses of work-related jobs or something like that. As far as, people laying on the table and doing Reiki, I'm not so sure I'm seeing an over amount of that. I can see her more talking to people and talking about what they can do in their own world, about their own self-healing. So I don't know if maybe she becomes an educator on just making sure we're living powerfully. Maybe something along that, but something to do with corporate. And it has, I don't know, something to do with corporate meditation or something.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that do healing work that do kind of tie in with a corporation. They're like the go-to healer for a certain group of people at a corporation or job. I've seen that in the healing world where,
That's
everybody
what
from
I feel
one.
Like she's going to be doing.
Well, it is kind of a smart strategy for somebody just getting into the healing arts, like a massage therapist or chiropractor, to try to be like one company's doctor. Or one company's healer. It does help to tie in. So maybe that's what you mean. I don't know.
Yeah, and that feels like it makes more sense to me than you will be doing healings, but it just seems like the corporate world is the better way to go for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm getting lots of questions. So you guys, like I said, oh, there she is. She jumped in. Hi, Taryn. Does Dana see me successfully selling my property for a good price and relocating near the future? Yeah, we just talked about this, Lauren. You just missed it. But is she still on? If you want to say anything, I'll reread the question. Does she?
Yeah, no, you're just gonna have to look for the blonde that's gonna help you sell the house. Not sure on the price. I don't think it's. I think you sell it. So either way, it's probably close to what you want. I'm not sure you're getting full asking price.
She wants to
It
know.
takes a little while though.
She specifically wants to know if she's going to end up in. I don't know how to say this again. OJAI, Oya, Santa Barbara area, or somewhere else. Oya.
Well, it seems like she's going straight south from where she is what it feels like to me.
Yeah, we just talked about that, Lauren. You might want to go back and look at this. But she says, does she see me working effectively as a healer, specifically with reconnective healing energy? Lauren, you just missed it. Like, we just finished. I fed your question in by email. But if you want to tell Lauren anything else about that.
Oh, well, I think I said everything that I was getting from the vision, but keep going and keep your dream alive, because I think you're going to be really happy where you're going. I also see a taller guy that's standing there as well. I don't know, brown hair, taller guy, clean shaven. Somehow you're connecting with him as well.
Okay.
And a white building. I see a white building or a white house. So that's probably what your next property is going to look like. And it's got a peak right in the front. Black door.
Okay.
Good.
All right. So someone named Sim in the Sky. Dr. Lupo, can she check me what I should do next? I think she means, could you tell me what to do next? I am stuck. I am alone. My name is IBS Simone.
Simone, I'm stuck and I am alone. I don't think we're ever truly alone. I believe that if we reached out, there'd be somebody there to connect with. So don't ever feel like you're alone, whether that's, spirit, whether that's, angels that you pray to or what have you. But your next step, feels like we're looking to change our financial situation a little bit. So it almost feels like there's a new job coming your way. It doesn't feel like the most glamorous job, but it definitely is a bunch of good people that you're working with. I can kind of smell food of some sense. So I don't know if you'll be dealing with it or close to restaurants or something. But it feels like good people. It feels like the going to work every day although the job may not be so spectacular, the people that you connect with all the time are going to be really, really sounding for you. So look forward to that. It's not too far from where you are. And I see a lady with long hair that comes around you. So there's always somebody, if we're alone, basically we choose to be alone. So always remember that if you're feeling alone, it's because you're choosing to be alone. Because if you really wanted to be around people, there's always people. There's 7.5 billion people in this world. There's enough people to go around.
All right. We're going to go back to Lauren, that one that was wanting to move and sell her house. Lauren, she had one last question. Also, what healing methods would I best pursue for healing and involving myself so I will be to the most service? In other words, what kind of healing should she aim for so she can evolve herself and be the best at? Can you steer what kind of healing would be good for her?
What kind of healing would be good for her? I do believe that the mental healing or the mental capacities are a good healing for her. But there's something that I can see in her spine. I don't know what it is, but they're showing me a spine. So either she's having back issues or there's something going on with her back, or she needs to look into, I don't know, the spine connected to the cranium. Something to do with the head and the spine. So, but I'm not quite sure what I'm supposed to say with that vision.
It's
I just see the spine.
craniosacral work is what you're talking about. Craniosacral
Okay, is that
work.
what it's called?
Yeah, look into that. It's
Yeah.
good stuff. I've had a couple craniosec guys do some good work. That's a good profession.
And it's the spine and the head
It's
that is the
specifically,
sacral.
yeah, it's specifically the connection between the base of the skull and the sacrum. And it's kind of like if you
Okay.
fix the top and the bottom, the middle straightens itself out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that would be good. But she also has to understand that education and educating people on how to do it for themselves is really important as well.
So maybe she's a teacher of it, yeah.
I would think so.
Or like yoga, maybe. You
Or
know,
will be.
a lot of yoga focuses on that area. I don't know. There's some sort of yoga that aims right at the craniosacral work.
Isn't that the Kundalini?
I think.
Kundalini?
I'm not a
Yeah.
yoga guy, but
Me neither.
I do respect it. Okay, Annette Birchfield. She says, for Dana, I have lived alone for almost 30 years. Will this always be the case? I have offered Annette that I could come live with her if she cooks good, but she's not taking it. So let's see. Let's see. She'll respond to you.
Well, as it stands right now, I'm not seeing a big change with this. And for some reason, I kind of think you are just so rooted in living alone that even if the opportunity arose where you could actually live with somebody, I think you would almost say, I'm not sure. I think you would retreat and maybe not do it.
Kind of like if you've lived alone so long that the idea is romantic, but as soon as you do it, you're like you really like being
Yeah.
yourself and your own
So,
way. Yeah, I think you probably get used to having your own way, and then let me tell you, not living with someone else, man, it's tough with all the compromises and like the simple things that should just be simple are now discussions. You know, like
yeah,
stuff.
absolutely.
I'm jealous of your single lifestyle up there, Dana. All right,
Yeah, it has its good points and its bad
yeah,
points.
not
I hope
having to.
I'm not always living by myself either, but yeah, it has
You
its good
know,
times and its
you don't
bad
have to discuss for 30 minutes what you're going to eat. You know,
times.
where are we going to go cook? Yeah, all that. Um, Alexander Millen. Dr. Lupo, could you please ask Dana if she knows what gifts I have or if or if in my lifetime I'll be able to see into different dimensions. Thank you.
Well, just the simple fact that you have a curiosity for that is going to lead you towards figuring out how to do that. The best thing that you can do to look into other dimensions is any kind of transcendental meditations and any kind of astral travel. That's something that, and you can actually get predictions that way. You can get future events. You can see things that are coming up in the future just by doing these meditations. So give that a try. It takes a little while to kind of practice those transcendental times, and even when you're in transcendental meditation, you're almost wondering sometimes if you're really there or not. So it takes a little bit to adjust to how your body is reacting, how your cells are reacting to it when you're doing it. But keep doing that. Seeing into other, I feel like you want a quantum jump. So maybe looking into quantum jumping. And that is jumping from dimension to dimension to see what's going on. It's an interesting practice, and not a lot of people can do it. But I'd be looking into quantum jumping if I were you.
All right. That's pretty neat. Yeah, I've talked to a couple of people that can quantum jump, and it's pretty bad, pretty cool.
It's awesome.
M Hobbs 33 just dropped some love. Thank you so much for the super chat. Love you. Thanks for always supporting the show. Good woman there.
Awesome.
All right. Arcturian Sweetie. Hello. I'm wondering if love with a man will arrive again in my life. Thank you. And if so, what time period?
So timings are most psychics' non-strong suit. So we have a hard time with the timings just because it's up to you to really create the existence that you want. So let me just tap in to see if there is anybody on the horizon. What's her name again?
It is Arcturian Sweetie.
Okay, so not her real name. That's her alias.
I don't
Okay,
know her
hold on.
real name.
No problem.
But if you can get a vibe off that, I'll ask her real name if you need it.
I actually see two men coming up. And she's gonna have to decide on where she wants to go with that. It almost feels a little confusing. One's starting off as friends and really, really slow, and there is an attraction there, but it feels like it's a slow move. And then the other one is something to do online. I can see you typing.
Her name's Linda.
So,
Does that help? Linda?
Linda.
See if you can get a better
I
lock.
can see you typing. And I can also see there's a man on the other side who is actually helping you find somebody who starts with a B, I think, helping you find this. Feels like you've been alone for a little while, and I feel like this gentleman on the other side knows how good you are in partnership. You are better in a partnership, but as I say, I see two people coming up. It's the one that's slow and steady and is more of a friend that is the best suit for you. I feel like you're more attracted sexually to the other person, which I find quite often happens. You know, the people who are really, really good for us, maybe sometimes the sexual components are not exactly where they're supposed to be, but that can change and you can work with that. So don't worry too much about it. The other guy that you're really, really hot for is not as stable as the one who's going to be your friend and the one who's going to actually be there for you and waiting for you. So I do see two. So just keep your eye open, and one of them seems to either you meet him at a variety store or he owns a variety store or something, but I'm seeing a variety store.
So tell me,
and a gas station.
Why do women put men into the friend zone? Like, you're like, there's two guys. One's actually good for you, but you're going to pick the one that's trouble. like, why do you women do it? What's wrong with y'all? There's nice guys out here, but y'all pick.
I don't know why we do that.
Yeah, what is, it's like a vibe that, I don't know. Is it like you're down here in this reality and you're like, I need this to test myself. I need to be treated like dirt by a guy, and then I'll be appreciative for the next guy. It's like, why not just start us, the nice guys, man? We always get put in the friend zone. The friend zone hurts.
Yeah, I know. The friend zone hurts. But it's actually the friends that are better for you. It's the friends who are more normal, who will bring the relationship forward, who are steady and stable, and really you want to be best friends with your partner. That's really what you want. So go for the friend guy.
Yeah, it's weird. There's like something that's happened in the last 10, 20 years where women are staying single and just they have one boyfriend for sex and then they have another boyfriend that's a friend. Like they get what they need from different people to create like the ultimate person, and I'm seeing a trend of this that they're like, screw it. I'm not going to be committed to one person, and I'm not sure it's a bad thing. I mean, maybe they're happier that way. I don't know.
Well, I think it's all part and parcel. I find that a lot of couples are actually not living together as well. They stay in a relationship and it's monogamous, but they're not living together. I don't know if that's such a bad thing. I don't know if I personally think that's the way to go. I would say no. But a lot of people really feel like this is a good deal for them. So that's what they choose to do. It's good. Whatever makes you happy and whatever works, go with it.
See, Simo Sam says, I don't like bad guys, but she's Italian. I mean, have you been to Italy? All the guys. If you're an American girl and you go to Italy, it's like a red light on you. Eh? You'll get all the Guidos that come out that are, hey, baby. I'm Italian, so I can say this. I can get away with it.
What is it with Italian men, though?
Well, what it is when I was in Italy, Italian women back in the day, they were very married to the church. Like, they wouldn't just date and have casual sex or stuff like that. It was rare. You had to kind of have like a full relationship with them. So the Italian men are kind of like very testosteroned out anyway. It's something about Italians and testosterone.
They're suffering.
But so they're really like um, they will marry an Italian woman, but they'll screw around and have sex with the tourist. Like they're two different animals. It's kind of like,
All right.
you have your fun with the tourist, but you actually settle with the Italian woman. That was my take on it back then. So when I was traveling with some foreign women, they were just getting hit on nonstop. Like Italians would barely speak English and come up and try to pick them up. It was great.
Oh, that would drive me insane.
Everywhere you went, everywhere.
Oh, that would drive me nuts.
She says Italian men are womenizers. Oh, but so Simo, you gotta.
All of them.
She's laughing about this because you know what I'm saying is true, don't you? See, she's from Italy. She knows this.
I date an Italian guy.
Yeah, that's right. We're a commodity.
Yeah.
That's it. She says they're sick. Oh, yeah. We'll have to have Simo on one time to tell us all about Italians. All right. Dark Horse. Here we come. Dark Horse, is my soulmate not in this reality? Cool question. Dark Horse 108. Is the soulmate not in this lifetime? Is it in another reality or another go around?
I'm wondering if we're talking about our twin flame or because soulmates. I don't know if I fall for the fact that there's only just one soulmate, because I mean soulmates can come in so many different packages. So whether it be friends or family or our lovers or what have you, I think soulmates can come in different ways. Our kindred spirits or our twin flames. Sometimes our twin flames don't come at the same time. And usually, from what I understand, when it comes to twin flames, who is your true match doesn't always come at the appropriate time. And it isn't always easy. When your twin flame is with you, and quite often when you're with your twin flame, it's actually quite filled with drama and a bunch of issues, and mainly because if you're not in the best place that you could possibly be in life, neither is your twin flame. So if there's lots of drama going on, you're both in the drama, and now you got double drama. So you meet your twin flame at the time in your life, or when you should meet your twin flame, is when everything is good to go and you have reached your spiritual ascension. And that's when the twin flame shows up, where you guys can, go off into history holding hands and living a happy life. So, and really, do I believe that, or do I go with that theory? I hope so. I hope that that's how it is. But there is a difference between twin flames, and there is a difference between soulmates. So, and kindred spirits. I think soulmates and kindred spirits are very similar. They are people who come into our existence at the times that they come in, because they're necessary for whatever situation that we're doing at the time. So, but they're not necessarily your twin flame. Your twin flame is that match, that Adam and Eve. So, yeah, you're probably right. They're probably not here at the time that you're here.
Okay. We've got a question coming in. Now, this is kind of a strange name. It's called He Hate Me. But I don't know what her real name is, but it's He Hate Me. She says, should I go to my company's holiday party?
Should I go to my I heard no. As soon as I went to go ask the question, I heard no. What does that mean?
I don't know.
That sounds like it would be, interesting. But I heard no.
Yeah.
And really, in my consciousness, I would say yes, because that's your company and you want to be a team player. But for some reason, I hear no. Don't go.
Yeah. Holiday office parties are pretty notorious for things being said that shouldn't be said, and people hooking up that shouldn't hook up, and holiday parties get a little nuts.
Yeah, I have a feeling you shouldn't be going to this one for some reason. I would make a healthy excuse to back out of that.
She also says, well, I wanted to know if she has any tips on how to stay lucid while astral traveling or dreaming. So when you go astral traveling or dreaming, how do you work into that so you can be lucid?
Stay lucid. So that is something that happens right before you fall asleep. So when your body is really heavy and when you're about ready to drift off, that's when you're telling yourself that you will be staying lucid, you will understand it. A lot of times when I'm in a dream and I don't know or can't distinct whether or not I am in the dream, I'll actually look at my hands. I'll hold my hands up and they will look like they're almost distorted or I can see through them. And that's how I know I'm dreaming. So I give myself a cue of, whether or not I'm lucid. In that Inception movie where he turns the top and if the top keeps spinning, he's in the dream, but if it falls over, he's in real life. It's sort of like that. When I'm in a dream, I'll actually look at my hands and they will look sort of cartoonish like.
Yeah,
and
I had a guest on about this, about lucid dreaming. His advice was that you can't actually that part of the brain that does it can't do anything specific. So if you actually try to count the fingers on your hand, you won't count 5.
Right.
That's how you'll know. If you look at your hand and you can't count, you're like, how many
Right.
fingers is that? And you just cannot process it, you're dreaming.
They look distorted in some way. When did you have this show? I would have found that interesting.
Oh, a while back. Charlie Morey, he has a whole channel on lucid dreaming. I had him on. It was really interesting.
Charlie Morley.
Yeah.
Is he English?
Yeah, he's British. And
Okay, I think
I'll have him again on. He's a really interesting cat. I'd like to get him back on. Christina Wagner's been asking for a while, and I keep missing her questions. Dr. Lupo, can Dana give me any insight into what I should do regarding my health, finances, family, or pets? So she wants a pretty general reading there.
Okay, let me see what I get. Christina, right?
Christina Wagner.
For health, she needs to work on her glands and her thyroid. Her autoimmune system feels like it's a little bit on the wonky side at the moment. Finances. I don't feel like there's a lot changing there. That seems to be pretty, I don't know, pretty straight, pretty even. I feel like everything is okay. I mean, oh, and I see an orange cat that's coming around her as well. So something about an orange cat. So either she has one or one's on its way. But I'm also feeling like with finances, there is an opportunity probably the latter part of next year that's going to give her an opportunity to go up a position or two. So tell her to keep an eye out for that. But that's still going to be about a year away. So she's going to have to just deal with what she's got right at this point. She doesn't feel like she's got a lot of energy. That's what it feels like to me. So, but I think that has something to do with what's going on with her thyroid. I think a lot of people are having thyroid issues right at this point. So, and I wonder why. Do you have any idea why that's happening, Tara?
In fact, I made a story about that. Funny you should ask.
It seems to me I'm seeing a lot of people.
It's all right. So the deal is with thyroid is it starts with leaky gut. It's an autoimmune reaction that when certain proteins, especially things like wheat and some other kinds of proteins get in, they're so close molecularly to thyroid tissue that your body creates antibodies. So you start attacking your own thyroid. Well, if you go to your doctor, the doctor only runs like 2 to 3 out of the 10 thyroid tests. And so they never diagnose it as autoimmune thyroid. These poor women go for like 10 years before they understand what's going on. But most thyroid problems are starting to be undiagnosed hypothyroidism, which is actually an autoimmune disease from what you're eating. So
isn't that Hashimoto's?
Yeah, Hashimoto's is. But what happens is during some levels of Hashimoto's, sometimes in the beginning stages, the thyroid goes crazy and ramps up. So they'll be diagnosed with Graves' disease, even though they don't have Graves' disease. And then it'll drop back down. And all the doctor's watching is like the TSH level. It's like one little piece of the puzzle. It doesn't tell you enough. So it's always autoimmune, and even if a doctor figures it out, there's not much they can do. They just still stick you on thyroid drugs. That's almost always from your diet. You have to figure out what you're eating that you're sensitive or allergic to and stop eating it. So there you go.
Okay.
So there's a big thyroid rash of. It seems to be very prevalent in women over 35.
And very prevalent in people who have a lot of dairy.
Oh yeah, dairy. Anything that destroys your gut lining is going to open the door.
Okay. All right.
So
That sounds
dairy is like
good.
one of the worst things to do for your gut. All
So
right.
it's interesting. I wanted to tell you, Taryn, that I feel like there is a lot of. I can't see who's on the chat, but I feel like
Oh,
there's a
it's
lot of
very
people
active.
watching.
It's about 50
I'm
people.
feeling like I'm like being sat upon. I can feel everybody's energy. It's absolutely insane,
Do you need
and
a
it's.
Do you need a break?
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
I'm good. It's just I wanted to let you know that it's all on me. I can feel it all out there. It's all kind of gathering in one space, but I think it's absolutely amazing.
Okay.
I can feel you all.
I want to say there is a person named He Hate Me, which I thought was female this whole time, but that was male. The name confused me. Been talking to him for like months. I didn't know it was a guy. So sorry, dude. I appreciate that. Your name's confusing. I hope you don't mind. So there's a question coming in from Max Loves the Mother. So I assume this is like the mother of Max that set her account up. I don't know. Another confusing. Y'all got to get better with your names. Max Loves the Mother. I'm hoping that our lovely Dana can give insight and guidance to a new career. I'm 57-year-old single woman at a crossroads, needing new ways to earn and would love direction. Thank you.
Okay.
Max Loves the
Interesting.
Mother. I don't know her real name. Sorry.
I I just saw a credit card. So I don't know if that has something to do with getting affiliated with credit cards or having some sort of affiliate with I don't know, applying for credit cards. I'm not sure. They're showing me credit cards. Now I hope this doesn't mean that you're going to live off of credit, but they're showing me something to do with business with credit cards. So I can see good income with this, and I can see commission potential with this. So think about where it is or what opportunities are coming up with signing up credit cards in some way or something to do with credit cards. I don't know what else to tell you. That was the first vision that I got, so I guess I have to go with that. So see where that's coming from.
Okay, it's credit cards. Interesting. Let's see. What other questions? Okay, Wake Up News again. He says he has never been married. Will I ever get married? I, of course, said don't do it. My advice, but don't listen to me. I have a pretty bad track record of that. So go ahead.
I think this is more about want than it is about opportunity. If you want to get married, get married. The opportunity will show up the minute you decide that that's something that you want. So you just have to decide. I mean, being married is something special and sacred and something that we're kind of supposed to do, really, in a lot of ways. My mom was never married. She believed that she didn't believe in it. She didn't even believe in living with men. So that was something that she always said to me, that the best relationship was with a traveling salesman. That's what she would always say to me. So I always got a kick out of that. But if you want to be married, then choose to be married. I do feel like I feel like your wife would come from a distance, though. So something to do about your wife in another country, or you meet your wife in another country, but she comes from a distance. So keep that in mind too. You keep smiling, Taryn. Why are you
I'm laughing
smiling
at the
about?
comments because Lauren Hanner says, Taryn, some people are great with marriage. Not me, dot, 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 but some people, dot, dot, dot. So I'm reading, trying to keep up while while you're taking
It's
questions.
true.
I'm trying to, for you guys, I mentioned this a lot, that I really am very dyslexic. So reading questions and then focusing, it's tough. I don't do that great of a job with it, but, so
Oh, I think you're doing a fantastic
if you
job.
guys, if it looks like I'm completely ignoring your question, I didn't see it. You will have to repost your question like 5 times till I get to it. So just keep putting it down there. I'll get to it eventually. Okay, let's see here. Millie. Oh, Millie asks, question for Dana. Will I have children soon? Her name is Millie, and her thing is a ghost.
Millie, will Millie have children soon?
She has a cute little Halloween ghost.
It almost feels like I'm looking at 3. So it's either 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 years. So you want to look at the 3. I don't feel, Millie, that it's going to be real soon, but I do think that you do create this. So hold on tight. There's other things that you need to do before. I keep seeing books and binders around you as well. So obviously, Millie, you want to make sure that you're finishing either schooling or upgrading that you needed to do. Almost seems like the timing is off with children anyway. So sometimes we want things, or we think we want things, but maybe the timing isn't right. So be patient. It does happen for you.
Okay, so this question is coming in from Long Hair Hello. All right. I was hoping Dana might have some insight for my mom. If she, if she is stuck because of the property or something else, and is change on the horizon. Something has her feeling stuck and struggling. Thanks. So is she stuck because of a property? I guess maybe she means she can't sell a property, or she's stuck because of a property.
I think she's stuck because she doesn't have a direction on where she wants to go. She's kind of wavering. I think once she decides on what the next chapter is going to look like, the house is going to sell. Sometimes, we think that because we can't offload something, that it's because of this we can't move forward. But in actuality, it's because we haven't made the choice. That's the anxiety that she's feeling. She hasn't made the choice on what she wants to do going forward. So she has to get clear on that. She's afraid of the change too, because I kind of get the feeling she's been in the same position for a while. So she's afraid of change, like we all are. But I also don't think she's real defined on what it is that she wants to do. I do see a gray-haired guy, higher forehead, rounder face, clean shaven. He's got gray hair all kind of combed over to the side. I do feel like this gentleman has some good insight for her. So she has a friend or a special friend that can kind of help her along with this. I think that would be, I don't know, good information coming from him. As far as selling the property, again, once she makes the decision, I think she'll be able to offload it at that point. She hasn't cleaned it up properly, though. There's something about it not being cleaned out yet. So it's not actually even really ready, and maybe that's what's holding her back as well. 1 box a day. Anytime you're cleaning out a house, 1 box a day. That's all you need to do.
Okay.
All right. That's what I'm feeling with that.
All right. Let's see if I can get some other questions in here. All right. Yeah, fun. I'm trying to keep up, but I'm not doing that good here.
I think you're doing a perfect job there. You're doing good.
All right. Behind the veil, Michael A. Michael. May I ask what she sees for me? Open some truth, no matter what it is. His name is Behind the Veil, Michael A. Michael. Is that too cryptic, or do you need something more specific?
No, I don't know. Just give me a minute. I feel like he's looking for easier ways to do things. So it almost feels like he doesn't really want to work that hard, but he wants to work smart. I'm feeling like I'm looking at business endeavors that try not to get too shady with it. I don't know what I'm supposed to say about that, but try not to get involved with people who maybe don't have a great integrity or great morals when it comes to customers. I think I would just be really cautious of that. It looks kind of easy, and it looks like it might even be on the edge of I don't know, not being the greatest sort of
Yeah,
ethical business,
I'm hearing
watch out for that.
Dana. It's funny because every once in a while I'll get something. I hear the word black hat, which means
Yeah, like
like he's either into something cyberspace that's kind of black hatish on the dark side. So I'm hearing that. I don't know if that helps.
well, it feels to me like it's something that could definitely line the pockets, but what are you selling to get it? What moral compass do you have in order to create the world around you? And as long as you are grounded in your moral compass, then these easy ways to make money, well, there's really no easy ways to make money, but the things that are a little bit more underground or behind the scenes, could sometimes hurt people or sometimes just not be on the up and up. And we can justify it in a lot of ways, but at some point in time that karma comes back and we have to be aware of that. So all I can say is be ethical, do ethical things, but something about making money. I do think you're doing something a little bit online, but there is ethical ways of doing that online too. I mean, there's lots of ways that we can make money online. What is it? A stupid $11 million industry a day. I mean, you only need a little tiny percentage of that to fill your pockets. But just be aware of who you're dealing with. That's all I can say. Something about buying and selling cars as well. I don't know. I keep seeing cars being bought and sold.
Oh wow.
So keep that in mind.
Okay, so let me ask a few more questions here. M Hobbs 33, supporter of the show. Thank you, M Hobbs. You moved to the front of the line here. My name is Michelle, which yeah I knew. Her name's Michelle. I'm concerned about health issues, but do not want to hurt Dana with connecting to me though. So she's worried that you'll pick up her health issue stuff if you try to connect. So I don't know if you
Okay.
can ground and connect, or maybe she's
No,
warning you
I
to
can.
ground first.
So, Michelle, what I do is I just sort of take a scan of your body and I just see where the area is. I don't always know what it is that I'm looking at, or I don't always know what the problem is, but I can kind of give you the general vicinity of where you want to take check and see what you can do. So, just give me 1 second, okay, Michelle? So, I'm getting two separate issues. I'm getting issues with nerves in the spine. So there's some nerve problems that I can see that are happening here. I'm also getting chest issues. Now, I don't know if that's your lungs or your breasts, but I'm also getting chest issues. I don't feel like they're real significant at this point in time, but if you're not watching this, there's something that could go awry here. You need your spine aligned. That's something that is causing some issues also in your lower back. I can feel it as well. So it's sort of throwing everything else off. Plus, I'm also getting arm pain. So I don't know exactly what that is. It almost feels like the nerves are firing or something hurts in the nerves. And be careful of your sugars.
All right.
That's what I'm getting with that, Michelle.
Let me see if she answered anything. Okay, Michelle, we're here if you have anything else. Okay, Mountain Cat. Mountain Cat says, please ask Dana what she sees in regards to my property, and please tell her it's nice to see her again. So I guess maybe you've done a reading for Mountain Cat.
Mountain Cat. I don't know. Have I done a reading for Mountain Cat?
I don't recognize Mountain Cat. I've never seen her in the chat.
I don't recognize her either, but let's see. So I forgot the question.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah, we're stuck on the name. Please ask Dana what she sees in regards to my property, and please tell her it's nice to see her again.
Property.
Yeah, she wants to know if I guess she's selling a property or something.
I see her driving down a long laneway. There. I'm not seeing a whole lot of movement at the moment, but I see her driving down a long laneway. It's almost like I'm seeing this in a metaphor. We're driving down the road and we're leaving the past behind us and we can see everything in the rearview mirror kind of thing. It feels like you will eventually be moving beyond where you are at this point. And you're driving away looking at it in the rearview mirror. So I'm assuming that's the metaphor. I don't think it's going to happen for a little bit, so just sit tight, but it will eventually happen for you. Probably not until the summertime. July, August, maybe.
Okay, ladies and germs, Dana is starting to wear out, so I'm going to wrap some questions out. I can see your aura coming down here. I can.
I've already been reading this morning. I've already been doing a
have
appointment
you?
separately of the show. So yeah, it's
All
been
right.
a busy morning already.
Well, I'm pushing Jessica Trick back because it is her birthday and she missed a question when you were reading her earlier. Jess Trick. She says, my first husband was 56 and I was 21 when we got married. Wow, Jess. He had open heart surgery and after 3 months he passed away by stroke in 2009. I know he knew I was back on drugs, but I wanted to know if he forgives me and for being drugged his last month of his life. Also, if he didn't give his kids a lot of stuff because I had to sell it for money. Ooh, Jess, I'm sorry that happened to you.
Okay, Jess.
Did you understand the question, or you need me to read it again?
I do. So Jess, I'm not actually connecting to your husband right at this point in time, but I will tell you that the guilt that you are feeling is for your burden to bear. It is something that you need to either get straight with, choose something different. I don't feel like you're on drugs right now. I feel like you have a lot of guilt, and I feel like you maybe left a little bit of a mess behind. But what does that mean today? Is that just so what? Is that would you do that today if situation was now? Would you be the same person today, and would you make the same choices as you did back then? When we're losing somebody, we tend to make choices that are very self-absorbed because we can't deal with what we're about to face. We can't deal with the fact of losing somebody that we love. And we try to distract ourselves in whatever way we can because we know inevitably what's going to be happening. So all I can say is that, would you make the same choice today as you did then? And if no, you have learned your lesson and you have evolved from that, and you can forgive yourself and move on, as long as you are making better choices now for yourself and the people around you. So I understand your dilemma, and I think we all kind of go through that in some way or another. But I think you're being really hard on yourself, and I think maybe it's time to learn and tap into forgiving self, okay? And then maybe your husband will come around you a little bit more. When you're feeling so guilty and you're feeling so wrapped up in him, quite often they kind of stay away. So you can deal with whatever it is that you need to deal with and the guilt of losing him. But, if you all of a sudden forgive yourself, if you, get straight with where you were to where you are today, they tend to show up again. And then they tend to give us the support that we need. And forgiving yourself is the biggest thing that you could do for yourself right now.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. We've got a few more questions. Alexander Millen, he's asked us a few times. Sorry about this. Trying to get everybody to get questions in here. Dr. Lupo, can you one last time ask Dana how I should use my gifts to help people in a meaningful way? She mentioned quantum jumping. Thank you. How should I use my gifts to help people in a meaningful way? His name is Alexander Millen.
Alexander, all I can say is be present for the people who show up. We think that when we're helping people is that they have to seek us out, but sometimes you can help people at the grocery store. Sometimes you can. I remember a time where this little boy was asking for juice, and I was overhearing the mother saying, "We can't afford juice, sweetie. We can't afford juice." And the simple fact is that this little boy deserves some juice. So I found the biggest jug of juice I could find, and I put it in his stroller in his lap, and he was just so happy with this big jug of juice. And then I ended up giving this young lady my card because she just needed some clarity. And it wasn't about, doing a psychic reading for her. It wasn't about any of that. It was about her living powerfully for her life. I mean, this was years ago. So for a while I would talk to her, and she lived in the same area, and we would run into each other at the grocery store, and it was about just saying, you are better than you are and better than you think you are, and that you should do what you love to do. And it was just that kind of type of conversation that really, really helped her. And it wasn't any skin off of my nose. It was just something that she needed. So it's about being present with the people who are in front of you at the time that they're there. So try and do that. And that's using your gifts very wisely as far as I'm concerned. But do the quantum jumping. That'll be cool too. And share your experiences. That helps people too. When you share experiences like that, it's very helpful for other people who are trying it as well.
Okay, I'm going to jump back to Long Hair Hello. She is giving an update of what you said about her mom. Mom says that was right on, Dana. Any thoughts on the spirit issue? Clear it out or let it stay? I think I'd like to set her up with you for a one-on-one reading. You were really spot on. So you nailed whatever's going on with her mom, but she says, any thoughts on the spirit issue? Should she let it stay or clear out? And how can someone get in touch with you for a one-on-one reading?
If it is a grounding haunting, if it's somebody who is grounded on the property, you'll end up going crazy if you stay grounded. We should always move on if that's what it is. If it's somebody who's just visiting here and there, but has crossed over properly and just comes back for a little check-in, that's a whole different story. I would just let it be. If things start going a little awry, when you have a spirit in your house and they start moving things, or they start acting like they're angry, or the vibe just feels very stressful, it's because you kind of end up going a little crazy. It's hard to be in that in between when you're a spirit. So I think it all depends. If it's calming and you feel like they're around and they're just checking in, let it be. If things start moving and flying around the house, I would absolutely get somebody in there to clear it out. And so for personal reading, go to my website, www.danajensenspsychicmedium.com. You can find me on Facebook. I run a Facebook group for Dana Jensen, Jensen. I also run a group called The Curious Psychic. So that's for anybody who's interested in kind of sharing their ideas, sharing their experiences. I'll go live there a few times, probably once a week. I'm going to try and do that. But I also try to do some blogging for that and some really neat things that I find as I go along. So go ahead and check that out too. But other than that, you can email me at danajensen@live.ca as well. So there's a lot of ways to get a hold of me.
Yeah, and you can always ask me. Do I have permission to pass your email along?
You absolutely do.
Okay, so we are wearing her out, guys. I'm sorry if you guys came in late with a bunch of questions, but this is a lot. It's almost been 2 hours of straight, nonstop questions. So
We'll do it again.
I'm gonna ask one more, and we're gonna end it. Mr. Sir Kenny has been asking, can you ask her what she thinks about the Great Awakening that seems to be happening? What's your opinion on the Great Awakening that seems to be happening?
Yeah, good, really good question, actually. With the Great Awakening, I kind of feel like it's shaking people up because, whether it's their emotions, whether or not they just can't seem to get it together, things are always just high entropy. It just feels like, we don't find any peace and grounding with this awakening. We don't even feel very good physically. I think it affects us physically. I think it's affecting our cellular makeup as well. We have to jump up into that dimension. So they're saying that we're jumping up to the fourth and the fifth. I kind of agree with that. I kind of don't. I don't know. I don't want to really get into what I think that is, because we could be here for another 2 hours. So what I feel is that the ascension process is absolutely happening for everybody, whether or not you're aware of it or not. So as long as you can stay focused on what's important to you, definitely stay meditative, stay grounded as much as you can, and just allow synchronicity in the universe to show you what it is that it's trying to tell you. Sometimes I think that we're knowing things more and more on a telepathic level. I think telepathy is really amping up as well. So it's likely that when somebody is thinking about you, you are cosmically getting that call, and that you all of a sudden think about them. So whenever that's happening, connect to the people who, pop up in your head. Send them a text, send them a little wave that you can do on Facebook, whatever it is that you need to do. But that's showing you how connected we really are, and it's more and more happening. So I think this ascension of our spirit is natural and normal, but I don't think everybody can always gracefully go through it. But you know what? The more we talk about it, the more we do these things, the more we get different opinions, and I think we'll do it gracefully as we can anyway.
Oh, right on.
That's what I think.
Yeah, I that's a good, well said, because that's a deep question there on where do we go. So, guys, thank you for asking all the questions. I'm going to give her a little bit of break. We're just going to catch up and talk for a bit. The show's not going to end, but we are just going to stop barraging her with questions and let her recharge a little bit. Other than that, I never got a chance to actually hang out and talk to you, besides just the entry of the show. And I still have my own questions, by the way. We're gonna have to get
Absolutely.
to those.
Go for it.
That's it. And then, all right. So with I've been trying to rebrand the show, because basically my channel's my main source of income, and I've been floating around, and we've talked about that in the past a few years, and I'm kind of I don't want to be some other news outlet that just like, I could put up scary stories about AI taking over the world, or I could put up scary stories that it'd be like everyone that gets really high amounts of hits. I could be InfoWars kind of thing, but I don't want to be. That's a really negative place and a negative vibe for me. So I'm trying to really rebrand and stay on positive topics. I want this channel to be like a place you go, and then when you watch something, you feel better when you're done. Like my purpose is to be a positive energy generator, where you come in, you get energized, and you go, and hopefully it makes your life a little better. So that's kind of where I'm going. But the problem is, when I do this, I'm going to lose a bunch of my audience, because a bunch of people are here for either they came in from farming or Mandela effect and all that. But that's where I'm at my life. I feel that mirrors what I'm trying to do. I'm also considering making a program or a product called the Quantum Comeback, where we talk about the ideas of using quantum changes to reboot your life. Like bootstrap, because I was in a really bad place in life a few years ago, and no, my life's not perfect by any means, but it's way better. And I would like to maybe make something about that, because YouTube is I can't count on it for an income. It's so up and down. I'd like to start moving and making a product, but I don't know how an audience would react. If they would freak out if I made like a special set of videos just for people trying to reboot their life, and maybe it was only open to Patreon people. Like, there's a way for me to make some income with it, because it used to be a model where I could make all this stuff, give it away for free, and I could still make money from YouTube, but those days seem to be disappearing. So I'm asking where I'm at on this vibe. Could I make a product? Can I rebrand? What will happen?
Absolutely. So one thing to understand is that drama and conspiracy sell. I mean, that is just the simple fact of the matter, and what can you do? And people who are curious want to understand a little bit more. Another, with that Mandela effect and all of those things, I have to kind of move away from it for a little while. I gotta I gotta step away. I gotta recharge. You know, certain conspiracies I'll hold on to, certain ones I won't. But I have to sort of step away from it and just, you know, focus on what's going on in your own heart and in what you want to create. I think you can make money at this. I do think it is going to be rebranded. I see you working with another man as well. Somebody else who's trying to start this or do something.
Well, I'm
There's
pretty
another guy.
tight
Looks like
with.
he's wearing a hat.
Yeah, I'm tight with Unirock. We always back each other up. Maybe it's him, Unirock and
Okay,
me. But
so
he does those news stories and everything. I'm trying to go the other way. I kind of, you know how like Jacob Israel, you watch it and you're energized when you're done, or like Infinite
Sure.
Waters. Infinite Waters is a guy. All he does is come on and he's like, "Peace, everybody," and he's got like millions of viewers. He's a very calming influence, and I feel like when people watch my show that
hello.
yeah, I want to project.
The one you're talking about?
Yeah. Jacob is hello, everybody. You know, he lifts you up. I feel like I was trying to discuss this earlier. I feel like I'm listening to jazz. Like I'm where you come to chill out. You feel good. You know, bring down your stress level. We try to have some humor. I'm not such a high energy.
They're still talking about conspiracies, though.
They
are. They're still having those conversations.
Not. I don't know if Infinite Waters does. Maybe he does. I don't know. I haven't really watched much of him, but the Jacob still does it. But he starts out positive. He talks about a hot topic, and then he ends positive, and that's kind of what I was doing. But
I think
I'm
that's
trying to
probably
move.
the best way to go.
But I know that it attracts a lot of people, but I don't really want to talk about the topic of the day. I don't mind philosophical stuff like, you know, so we got some pretty deep conversations. That stuff's great.
Sure.
But I also like, you know, just small improvement life. So here's how to grow a better garden. Here's how to, you know, save some money. Like stuff that still is empowering. I don't want someone to come onto my channel and be like bummed out after they watch something, you know, and
knowledge is power.
If they go back, you know, to my very first year or two, I was trying to do that. I was just another news service, and my old stuff's kind of negative. But everything new I've done is very positive. I'd like, it's my issue, Dana, is I want to take that vibe, kind of rebrand it to my channel, and then maybe make a product or some way to make money besides YouTube. It's very dangerous to have my entire income based on YouTube.
I kind of think you're going to some other video providers. So is there another one out there other than YouTube that actually?
Yeah, I'm on
this because I feel like you're going somewhere else.
I have been actually. I guess you haven't really been watching my channel, but the last few episodes I've been promoting other platforms I'm on. I'm on Minds.com, which is kind of like a libertarian Facebook. It's kind of like a uncensored Facebook without algorithms, and I'm also at Reddit. Steemit, and DTube. And the one I'm really excited about is called Library, but it's not functioning very well yet.
Okay, so there's going to be something.
There's alternative
like YouTube,
platforms.
But it's another platform that you can advertise or people can advertise on, and there is going to be a share with that as well.
Do you feel like it's DTube, as in DTube, Decentralized Tube, or do you feel like it's Minds, or do you feel like it's Library, or BitChute? Any of these names hit?
I don't know.
Okay.
Blue?
Blue.
I'm seeing the color blue.
Which one's blue?
So whichever one may be blue, I'm seeing like a blue little icon. I don't know what it is. Something to do with. No, I do feel like you'll be doing it. It's sort of like YouTube, but it's not. And I think
I might have success.
Conversion rates are better.
Okay. Yeah, if I could find, I want to find my tribe. You know, like.
Oh, they'll follow you.
That's what I'm wondering is if I move off YouTube, am I going to lose a huge bunch of audience? And I'm sure I will some, but I feel like I'll gain a bunch too. And you know, everybody's bitching about YouTube and Twitter and Facebook censoring, so I'm like, let's do something about it. Let's try these other platforms. And it's hard to get people to go.
Like other platforms.
And I've been focusing a lot of time and energy on growing other platforms. What about as far as how will I actually make an income? Am I going to be getting like I really want to push my Patreon page to the point where, you know, I have so many subscribers on that, and I don't have to worry about the ups and downs of money. Like, you know, is it going to be 1,000 one month and 5,000 and 100, and it's just like crazy how much it goes up and down. I
Yeah,
want to push it
that's
to
going to
Patreon
continue.
with a product, but I don't know if that'll be successful. Should I do
Well,
that?
whatever. Do you have like a series, like
Yeah.
5 or 6 series that you want to
So
do?
here's what I got in mind: is I want to do this quantum comeback where it is where I specifically target people who were like me, where it's people that are kind of wish they were in a better place in life. Here's the stuff that helped me, and I make a video, and I make a series of maybe like 10 videos that they can only get by joining Patreon. And
Okay.
maybe one will be, okay, here's what I did to fix my finances. Here's what I did to lose weight. Here's what I did to get out of depression. Here's what I did to stay positive. Like different videos on different topics. And when a person joins, say the price point will be like $6. If they pledge $6 at Patreon, they get access to these 10 videos on different topics that are exclusive, that aren't on the internet anywhere else. That's kind of what I'm thinking
Well,
about doing.
that would make a lot more sense than actually selling the package. So, but I will tell you, even if you do that, that is going to lead you to the next project that actually will make you your financial freedom. So I think you
It's a
have to
stepping
do
stone.
this in order to get to the next thing. It is a definite stepping stone, but then it's going to tell you what to do from that point forward. So you have to do that. It'll definitely be worth it, but it will take you to the next step. It'll take you to the next level.
Oh, that's nice. I really appreciate you giving me a read, because I really feel that my channel was just floating, and I'm trying to narrow it, define a
Narrow the
purpose,
focus.
and push.
Yeah, makes
So
sense.
my tribe is going to be people like me that want to better their life, that have been kicked down. And yeah, I'm not perfect, but you can go through this with me step by step. And here's what I'm doing. Come with me. And that's
I
where
was
I'm
thinking
going.
of doing that for quitting smoking.
Ah, well,
That
hey,
people can come with me when I decide to quit smoking.
Dana, if you want to, here's what I'm going to probably do is, once someone's like a Patreon person, I'm going to do special interviews where they can't see them anywhere else. And so what would happen was, if you want to do that, me and you could do a quick show on that if you have some success on quitting smoking. That's
Sure.
a monster, or just quitting any addiction. Addictions are a
It's a monster.
jerk.
It is.
I was going to say
Oh,
a bad word, but addictions are real troublemakers. So
they
I
really are.
I would love to do a story on that, because it's funny. Everybody has their own vices. They, like I eat too
Yep.
much, but other people I know drink and smoke, and other people do drugs, and everybody seems to have their own freaking vice. And some, bad. Some people are serial daters. They date nothing but bad people. So just saying.
Yep, that's true.
Um,
Well, I've been dealing with smoking for a long time. So maybe, going on something like this allows you to be accountable,
yeah.
with your failures and your successes. And, other people are going to go through it too. So it's important to share that with your tribe. For sure. I'd do that with you.
Cool. I was going to ask you if you will help me make a segment over there eventually, but I need to get your read. If you were like, no, I don't see people going to that, then no. But if you think it's a
No, I
good
do.
stepping stone, so I can redirect my channel, and I'd rather really start focusing on positive things and not just the same old crap.
Is there a V? Is there a V platform somewhere?
A V.
Something to do? A V?
Can I show you the
Or
logos?
like a check mark?
I'll show you the logos. All right, for you guys watching, this is going to be my end screen, and then I'm going to show Dana this. Hold on a sec. There. Dana, I'm going to put this up. Oh, geez, I don't think you can see it, can you? Hold on.
No, I'm on my phone. I didn't bring my computer in here, so I'm on my phone
Yeah,
right now.
hold on a sec.
Unless it
There's-
pops up.
Let me see if I can figure out how to screen share this. Give me a sec. Because you got to be difficult, don't you, Dana?
I do.
Whenever it comes to
With
technology,
everything.
Dana breaks me. All right, Dana, I'm switching you over to on this.
I don't mean to do it.
No, I'm just teasing. I know it's your energy that wrecks it. All right, so there's the.
Oh.
Can you see that? There's the different things I'm streaming on. I am streaming on something called DTube in the right corner.
D2.
Steam It.
Okay.
Steam It is part of BitChute with the trees. Mine's is the one
Okay.
I like the best so far. And then speech and library are the most disruptive.
Library is the one up at the top that I see, but I thought it was blue.
They also, I think, have a logo that is blue somewhere, but that picture I took is green. Library is the one I think is going to be the most disruptive and amazing one. I am very excited about library, but it's so beta, it's very clunky and hard to use right now.
Okay.
So let me see, how do I get out of screen share?
So maybe once your product and once you have all your videos ready to go, maybe library will have their stuff in order as well by that point.
Yeah, I feel that they're
the
getting
fact that I thought it was blue.
they're getting better every day about it. Those are the ones I'm on,
Okay.
unless something arrives that is blue with a V or a check mark. But
yeah, V or check mark, but it looks like that logo, like the library logo.
The library kind of has a check. Yeah, I get it. So I would say.
What are all of these things? I never even heard of any of these.
Well,
platforms.
I'll take you through.
What do you do every day?
So here's what happened: is I'm going through this and I'm like, I'm watching Vegan Warrior lose his channel like 3 times in a row. I'm watching, Unirock get knocked down and have to make whole separate channels. And like my friends, Jacob's getting demonetized. And I'm like, man, everybody I know is getting crushed. And my YouTube money's about half of what it used to be. So, I would.
So what happened?
What happened?
Yeah, what happened? Why did that all happen?
Oh, did you miss the whole adpocalypse and YouTube censorship? And I think you've been hiding for the last 6 months. But what happened was the YouTube advertisers got mad, and they left because of they felt like their ads were being run around like racist information and bad stuff. So in other words, like Verizon would have an ad run in front of a white supremacist video or something. So they were pretty mad about that. And what happened was it was much to do about nothing. It was something they could have completely controlled, but some advertisers blew it up, and so YouTube cracked down on and lost a bunch of advertisers. All of a sudden, YouTube's money cut in half in a day, which means half the money goes, that was going to me is cut in half. And to bring advertisers back, their knee-jerk reaction was to get very strict and not give monetization to any stories that had anything to do with anything political, news, anything kind of conspiratory, nothing except like super family friendly. Now, luckily, most of my videos are, but my whole Mandela series isn't really family friendly. I mean, it is, but it's esoteric. But like my farming stuff is still going okay. It's keeping me the lights on. But my friends like, Vegan Warrior did some really controversial stuff, and Unirock covered some controversial stuff, and Vegan just had his channel taken down. No explanation. It was just like, your channel's not appropriate. No 3 strikes, just gone. And
really?
And so it was really bad. He's had to restart his channel like 3 times.
Wow.
So that being said, is we have all been trying to figure out how to survive this coming, because YouTube money's getting worse and worse and they're getting more restrictive. So I'm like, hey, let's move off platform. Let's go to these other places. And I'm currently trying out all the ones I like the best, because their whole thing they're kind of like libertarian sites that people created them to not censor the information, and they all have cryptocurrencies involved. So there's different.
I think that's the way you're going to go for sure. I think that's the only way you can go.
Different experiments, right? Well, I was looking at that in Patreon. Yeah. Like, that hopefully if I can get enough Patreon people, then I don't even care about YouTube. I'll still use it to funnel people in, but I won't like be terrified if YouTube changes an algorithm. Or
Patreon seems like it's going to work very well for you. What is that?
You don't know what Patreon is.
I'm supposed to do it too.
Okay, so Patreon, what happened in a response, and Patreon's been a while, it's been around a while, but it has a logo. Let me show you the logo so you know what it is. And maybe that's what you're seeing. Give me a sec. I got to pull the Patreon logo. Okay. Oh, darn it. This went full screen. One sec. Technologies, Dana.
I know.
All right, so this...
I know. Technology.
Oh, it's not up here. Where's the Patreon logo? Sorry, hold on. I'll just do it this other way. So, let me bring this over. I'm going to blow this up for a sec to All right, this thing in this little orange thing here with the
Okay.
line and the P, that is the Patreon logo. If you see that,
Oh,
it's
okay.
like a P. I believe they also have a different logo as well, but that's the more known one. It's like it stands. What Patreon is that it is a site where you can contribute directly to creators. So in other
Oh,
words,
okay.
like I go on and I say, okay, for $1, I'll mention you in my show. For $5,
Okay.
I'll send you a drawing I made. For $20, I'll not only send you a drawing, but I'll make a tapestry for you. You know, for $100, I'll whatever my skill is. I'll make some jewelry for you. Um, so some video creators are using it, some artists are using it, and what they do is they get hundreds of people to pledge like $1 a month, or $3 a month, or $10 a month, and the more you give, kind of the more cool stuff you get, the better reward you get. And it is a
Okay.
way for people who are like broke artists to actually survive and make money.
Makes money.
Like
Ah,
you could do something over there where you do readings like this, you know, for hey, support me for $5 a month, and one day a week, one day a month, I'll come on and just answer questions. You know, something like
okay.
this. You could do something like that where somebody could buy a subscription to check in every month, and that way they only have
Okay.
to pay like $5. But if you get 100 people doing it, then it's like being paid for a real read. So you spend an hour
Sure.
answering questions, and it's secure money every month it comes in. You know, I mean, you'll lose a few, you'll gain a few, but it's kind of steady.
That's kind of
Where,
that way.
yeah, we're
That
compared
feels
to
good,
like,
but I don't think that was the icon that I saw.
okay, so that's not the icon,
So,
but
but it feels good.
I feel in my heart, I feel that that's going to help. But I feel you're right that eventually I'll brand up to the next level. I just haven't figured out how to get there.
For sure.
Yeah. But I'm
I think
hoping.
you're well on your way, and
It,
I think you're right on cue to what it is that you want to create. But again, whatever happens after you've created these videos that you would like to do and put into play, I think something much bigger comes out of this, but you have to do this to get there.
okay, so somebody's going to see those or know something, and then a bigger offer will appear eventually, or a bigger
You will know
product.
what to do from that point. Yep, you'll know what to do from that point, but you have
Yeah.
to do this first.
I got it. All right. Thanks so much because I'm playing with this and I really don't want to put an enormous amount of energy into going this direction if I don't feel like, you know, I've got a chance from the get go. But it's
Go
been
all the way.
tough because, you know, the Mandela effect cooled off, so I lost some audience, and then, you know, people just drift and drama and all that. They go to different places, or they you know, my audience got smaller, but I feel like they're coming back, but it's a different audience, which is kind of cool. I like this audience that I'm picking up.
That's what's supposed to happen,
Yeah,
though,
it's a
right? That's
yeah,
what's supposed to
I
happen.
just it's you get burned out of always rebuilding, you know. It's like I'm always rebuilding.
Yep.
I just wanted to stay where it is and build. I don't want to keep going
Sometimes I sit there
this.
and I think, how can I keep going? How can I keep regenerating and reinventing and redoing it? But you know what? I don't know if it's about the grind or it's about this is just the process. The
Yeah.
process is reinventing yourself every time you wake up every morning. So you're doing it anyway, but I think we put a lot of connotation on how much effort it's really going to take moving forward. When really, what else do you have to do, Taryn? Let's do it. Let's do the videos, get on that and put all of your might into it. Don't waver on it and don't not give it all you got.
Yeah,
Make sure you go all the way and do it to the best of your ability.
I'm speeding up. I'm about to go full guns. As this
Good.
month is happening, you'll see I'm producing more and more. My quality's going up. I'm spending more time on alternative platforms. I'm pushing
Good.
content, and over the winter, I mean,
Awesome.
I'm stuck in a snowed-in house. I'm gonna just crush content. And I'm hoping that I'll develop that product as I speak over the next few months, and
Good.
that will get me where I need to go because I don't like being this unstable with income. It feels very much like I'm a real estate agent, you know, where you don't eat for 3 months and then you have a windfall and you don't eat, and it's tough to do
Kind
that.
of what it is, though, isn't it?
Well,
Isn't life like that in some way?
any sales job is, yeah, but I would like
Well,
at least
that's
to.
what this is.
I just need to get, I've got all these cool goals, Dana, and one of my goals I think I want to start with is to, like, my first goal is to get a van, and just to have like a cool camper van that I can go do stories and stay somewhere for a week and do stories and kind of hit the road and do stories somewhat. And then eventually I think I'd like to get some land and, do a yurt, then maybe an earthship, and kind of like build through, and then maybe even eventually a community. I would love to have a community of enlightened folks just to come and go and hang out. I always kind of felt for the last 30 years I was supposed to build some sort of community eventually, like a real life community, but I've never lived in an intentional community, and I don't know how it's done and all that stuff. So I don't know if that's...
I kind of feel like Taryn, you putting this all together in your pipe dream, which is really what it is. It's a pipe dream. This is something that we want to create. Sometimes the creation is so big that we actually talk ourselves out of it because we think, how's that actually going to look? How am I actually going to create a community? And we don't allow ourselves the possibilities that this could actually come true, even though we say, oh yeah, we would really like to do this, or this would be really, really cool. We don't give ourselves the opportunity at the present to do what we need to do this moment because the job and the task seems so big. Even though it's valid and even though it's very possible, we'll knock ourselves down because in the present moment that is so big and so unattainable that we don't do it. So think current, think now, what do I need to do this moment, and write your list of 99 things and get to it.
All right. As long as so I shouldn't focus too much on the big stuff, but I'm gonna.
Not right now.
I just want to get my channel rolling.
Unfold.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And it'll change 100 times before I get to where I want it. It's going to change a lot.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Dana, I wish I could do a reading for you.
Oh, yes. Well, I think I got a bit of a reading because I do have something in my throat, and there does seem to be something that's kind of affecting me. So thank you to all of my guests who told me that, and send me the healing. I'm going to accept it from all of you. And yeah, that's great. It's been awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad. And we do have a few other, psychic people on this, and so maybe one of them will reach out and give you a reading or something. You need your own. It's hard to read yourself.
Yeah,
probably.
I don't get them very often.
Yeah, it's like being a chiropractor. I never get adjusted.
It
always goes one direction. So thank you guys for sticking in the chat. They stuck with you. Ewok says Dana killed it today. Little heart. Everybody's sending you lots of love on here. We need to have you on more often. So
sounds good.
I think maybe, I don't know, it's your call if you want to try to pick back up. We were doing once a month at one point, but I don't know. You got a pretty good response today. At one point there was about over 50 people watching, I think.
Excellent.
So that'll be a few hundred views. And one more time, why don't you tell people how to find you in case they want a one-on-one reading?
Dana Jensen, psychicmedium.com is my website. Come and subscribe, or you can reach me on Facebook at Dana Jensen, or the Mystic Corner, or the Curious Psychic Group. So come and join me, and I look forward to hearing from all of you. And thank you so much for tuning in and watching. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I'm up to doing this once a month. I think that's perfect.
Very good. Thank you so much.
Good.
It's been fun. I miss you. I'm glad we caught up.
I miss you too. You're so sweet. Yeah, I miss you too.
Well,
so now I got to go to work because I actually have another couple of
readings
coming in tonight.
All right, go rest up and recharge. You just have to hang up, and I got to talk to my audience for a minute about these other platforms I'm streaming on. So thank you, Dana.
Excellent.
Bye, guys.
Bye, all.
So you guys are still with me here. We were talking about this earlier. I am starting to move to other networks. So if you are already over there, support them. There's a DTube and Steemit. They go together. That's like a decentralized YouTube where you can put stuff up and it won't actually get taken down. Hold on. Let me hang up Dana here. Boop. All right. Oh, what happened there? I got knocked out. There's my screen. One sec. I don't know what happened there. Let me see if I can get my webcam going. webcam. One sec, guys. I think I got knocked out. Webcam? Ah, I killed my stream. Oh, jeez Louise. All right, hold on. Let me open another Hangout so you can see me. Oh, technology, why you tease me? You're such a fickle woman. All right. So there I am. Oh, where'd it go? There we go. And boop. All right. So we're all lined up. I'm over at these other platforms, and you can check them out. Now, if you do decide you are sick of the mainstream, the Facebooks and the Twitters and stuff like that, there are other platforms that are decentralized. Now, that being said, you know, there's speech on there that's unpopular. It's a free platform. Now, you can filter it out so you don't see it. Like, you know, I don't want to see a bunch of negative junk, but it's out there. YouTube and Steam it's kind of like that way. Reddit and a YouTube, a decentralized YouTube. BitChute, also sort of like a YouTube. Mine's is like a free form of Facebook. I actually really like Mine's. I'm starting to hang out over there. If you want to talk to me, I'm over there. If you do decide to go to Mine's, go in the description below, and I have like a little referral link. It's an affiliate link. It kind of works like Amazon. You go in, and it throws a little cryptocurrency for sending you to them. Now, I'm not completely endorsing them. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but so far I like it. I'm going to stay on these platforms for like 4 or 5 months, and then I'm going to do a review and give you guys, okay, here's the good, here's the bad. And then if you're really, really like hardcore ultra and you want to completely decentralize, library is up and running as well as speech. And those are where you can put stuff where nobody can take it down. It goes into the blockchain and never comes out. So, pretty cool stuff there. I am playing with that one too. I'm going to, according to Dana, that's where I need to spend time. That's the library check mark she must be talking about, that little up and down. So I want to start looking at library some more too. Anyway, that being said, I really, really do appreciate it. The other thing is you guys got to hear some of the sausage being made. You know where I'm going and these ideas. And I hope that maybe you will support me through them. Like I said, I'm trying to create kind of a cool little extra thing over at Patreon that will be a special series on how to reboot your life. It's going to be a process. I'll keep you guys in the loop. It'll probably take me a few months to create it completely, but I need to run it by you guys to see if it's a good idea. If you're like, oh, I vibe with that, or nah, don't do that. That's been, you know, done to death. I don't know. So maybe that's I'd really kind of like you get your guys' vibe and feedback as I go on that. And I'm probably going to ask a lot and say, is this a good idea or is this a bad idea? And create it for what you guys want. So that'll be said. And if you're really feeling like kind heart, you can jump over to Patreon and become a Patreon. It's pretty quiet over there right now. I only started it like 2 weeks ago, so there's only 3. I have 3 Patreons, which I'm extremely grateful for. I'm super grateful for you guys, so don't think I'm picking on you, but I'm just starting out, so I'm kind of a low-level guy, but you can Patreon for as low as $1. I mean, come on, y'all, $1. $1 is like a good energy. It's a vibe out there. It says, you know, I like what you're doing. I'm going to validate what you're doing by dropping $1. And if I can get $1, it just makes me feel good, and it makes it feel like I'm on the right path, and that my Patreon looks busy. It's like, oh, look, this dude's got 20 Patreons. Yeah, it might be for $1, but I got 20 Patreons. You know, so really, guys, $1. $1. Come on now. So that's it. The other thing I'm going to be yakking to you guys about is upcoming shows. This Saturday, I'm going to try. I'm not positive. This might have to be pre-recorded. Part of it, though, is we're going to do a show on expatting and leaving the country. I've done a few series on these before, but I've got some friends over in Mexico that I'm going to interview. Those should be coming up this week, I hope. And I'm going to try to have my buddy Case on. If you guys remember him, Case, he is in Mexico, or he might have gone to Guatemala or something. Like he emailed me somewhere else now, but I would like to try to get in touch with Case, but Case Parks, his internet is a little iffy. We'll see what I can do. If you guys have story ideas you want, hit me up and I will listen. And that's about it. Pilgrim says, I don't have a credit card. How do I Patreon? I think you could do it through PayPal. I think. So, I don't really know. Yeah, Case does reconnective healing. He's a cool cat. I like him. I've been wanting to do a show on energy healing. Like, is it for real? Can you do distance healing or not? There's controversy. Like, a lot of people think it's BS. Some people say it works. My personal experience, I think it works. I think it's all, if you could push energy into someone from a foot over them with Reiki, why can't you push it across a country? You know, I think that you can connect with people on that kind of level. But we should get some healers on to talk about it, because that's not the work I do. Yeah, Angie says totally works. That was my question for Dana. It's not working on me. Oh, man, I'm sorry, Vicky. I didn't see your... there was like a barrage of questions, and I just couldn't get to them all. We'll have her on again. But you're saying energy healing doesn't work on you? That's interesting. I don't know. Some people can't feel it. I can actually feel it. When people do Reiki, I know where their hands are with my eyes closed, and I can feel it warming up. Like, I'm super sensitive to energy work. I find Reiki fascinating, but I don't do it. Let's see. That being said, those are some show ideas. If anybody's interested in those ideas, just comment in the section below. So, I think that's all I want to do. Some of you guys might want to go into Discord and keep chatting if you want to. You can go over to the Afterglow. I won't be there for a bit. I've got to take this, repost it, clean these videos up, put them on other platforms, all kinds of stuff that I have to do behind the scenes that you don't get to see. So, again, if you are on any of these alternative networks, please friend me over there and find me. And if you do decide to go through to Try Minds, if you do, use my affiliate link below. I really appreciate that. Oh, one last thing, of course. If you're going to use an affiliate link, this is the shopping season. Go to Amazon. Woo! I'm like, here's another thing, 50 things. But it's like crazy. I got to have all these ways to make money because YouTube sucks. So Amazon affiliate, if you're going to go shopping this week, please remember to go through my link. It works in Canada. It works in England. It works here. All you have to do is go through my link before you ever go into Amazon. It'll take you to like one of my books. Just ignore that, start shopping, and it'll throw me a little thank you money, and it helps keep the show going, and it really does matter, especially right now, if you're going to drop some bank on Amazon. I'd really appreciate it. So thank you. I love y'all, and if you are still watching on YouTube, just click these little spots here. They'll be popping up here in a minute. I love you. Stay with me, my positive vibe tribe. That's what Susanna told me to call it. The high tribe vibe. That's what I'm trying to create. So I could even be more Jesse Jackson like. I could rhyme everything. It'd be hey, subscribe to the high tribe vibe. Yeah, you like that? All right. So if you like my vibe, subscribe. Maybe that one works better. I'll have to work on my closings. Anyway, be nice to your cat. You know the rest.